Hello, good people, and welcome to the Nothing Above the Moon podcast. This is episode 006 of the podcast. I'm gonna put no more adjectives in here, man. It's just the podcast, man. Numero uno podcast supreme. All right, I'm your host, Mike Johnson. I'm joined with my co-host, Cameron Huff, over here.
Let's go.
Let's do it, man. We got a sponsor.
Uh-oh.
We got a sponsor. I called Samsung and said, hey, man, if I don't put no more zeros in that check, we're done, bro. So they said, fuck it, they pulled it off the table.
Dang.
But
did you even call me about that?
it don't matter, bro.
Dang, man.
You would agree with me, man.
We in this together.
Hey, man, it don't matter, cuz.
Okay.
But look, you might be mad at me about saying something, but guess what? I got a better deal for us.
Okay.
Guess who?
Who?
XFL, cuz. Yes, sir.
He hates me now.
Yes. Vince McMahon called me up, man, said they like what we doing, man. So, XFL, here we go.
With the WWE.
Oh, yeah, we all mixed in, bro.
Oh, man. Yes. Man, that is so good that XFL is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like arena football, in the summers, or don't, because when the NFL leaves, they don't have anything to watch as far as football.
Yeah.
So the XFL can dominate that category again. And they said they're going to make it actually like the NFL. It's not going to be the gimmicky stuff.
I think that's a bad idea.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I think they should make it more like it used to be, man. Reckless football.
Well, any businessman learns from his mistakes, right?
That's true.
So he felt that at that time that the gimmicky football wasn't, capturing the audience like he should.
But see, I heard different though. I was listening to an interview today from one of the guys who used to work for XFL, and he said that when he hasn't met a person who went to an XFL game and didn't say they enjoyed it. He said the problem was where they put it on TV was the thing that made it not successful. And Vince McMahon himself said the reason why it wasn't successful because he didn't have enough time before he put it out. He rushed the product out. He didn't put a lot of time into planning and everything. I think it's going to be good football, man. I think they should keep. Well, we got to change some things, of course, but I think they should keep it kind of the way it was and go for it, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was very interesting when they was trying to figure out who got the ball first. That they would have two guys from one.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I'm like, they got two guys running from one side of the field to the other side of the field, and they trying to come right in the middle and grab the ball.
Didn't one get hurt like the first time he did that? Yeah, separated shoulder. Yeah, so.
Yeah, man, you basically, that's like the bull ring. I think they had like football practices back in the day where they had like one person in the middle and then like one person will come straight at him, and then it's like he's in a circle. Right?
Oh,
so they have
okay.
they just call certain players and he had to hit that guy.
Wasn't it like the shotgun or something they used to call it?
Maybe
something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Yeah.
Yeah, they
sent
banned
a lot of guys home.
Oh yeah, they banned that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of the first things they had to ban because people was really getting hurt. Yeah.
So we're gonna see what Vince McMahon gonna do with this XFL, man. I think it's gonna be popular. You said a good thing too about that time slot. I think they're gonna start at February. Mm-hmm. So pretty much the NFL over, no college football going on. People ain't really watching that CFL. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, man, we'll see. You talking about getting Manziel in there and Tebow?
That's cool. See, he needed to bring those big names in there because he also said that he's going to allow kids from high school to jump in there too. So you don't have, so you can jump in from high school to the XFL. So now a lot of people are saying the same thing about the NFL. Like these guys got to mature their bodies, and they want a kid to go to college for at least 3 years to have their body matured. So they can, eventually go into the NFL. They got to have at least 3 years in college.
That's not a rule, though, is it?
Yeah, it's a rule.
Really?
Yeah. You got to be at least 3 years in college. You could be a redshirt sophomore, which means that you had 3 varsity years and still go to the NFL. Mm-hmm. But you have to be at least 3 years. Bare minimum.
So you can't do like the NBA, you can't do 2 in college and go CFL it?
You got to do, now... You can do that. If you wanted to leave college and maybe go to the CFL, their rules are different. But the NFL is 3 years max.
I never knew that, man.
Yeah.
So what happened with Maurice Claret? Didn't he try to change the rule or something?
He tried to change the rule because he wanted to go into the NFL after his freshman year. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't going to happen, and the NFL wasn't going to take him. And then he got in trouble basically he tried to do that when he got in trouble in the off season at Ohio State.
Okay, so he wanted to.
Yeah,
okay.
Because he got in trouble, and then he was going to get suspended for a few games. So he was trying to make that jump after his freshman year to go to the NFL. But what happened was that didn't happen because he had to wait those 3 years and be out of at least he could have left Ohio State, but still he would have had to serve at least another year, bare minimum, to even well, at least 2 years to go to the NFL.
So even if, okay, let's say he played his freshman year and then say, you know what, forget it, man, I'm done with this football thing. He still had to sit out 2 years before he go to the NFL?
Well,
Or you have to have 2 years of actual college play?
Well, you know what? Actually, I don't know if that's the case. Let me retract on that. I know if you're trying to go from college to the NFL, you in college, you have to do 3 years. But if you leave college, I think it's a free fall.
Okay.
I have to research that a little bit more, but yeah, I think most of those guys who went to the NFL, who left college, they probably got out of college within, a year. I mean, they was out of college for a year, 2 years, and went into the NFL.
So what about the NFL draft? Like, if you declare yourself for the draft, you lose eligibility? Or you don't know?
What you mean? Like, as soon as you, if you get into college, if you stayed in 1 year? Or
Yeah, let's say you do 2 years and you decide, I'm going to declare myself for the draft.
Yeah, you're going to lose that year. Yeah, the NFL's not going to pick you.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
It is horrible.
It's another reason why I don't watch football.
Yeah. The basketball, because they feel like the NFL is more a physical sport, and they feel like they're trying to get you at least your body type ready to go and play that game, which I don't believe in, because I think if you're able to go to war at 18, why you can't go to play a football game?
Exactly. And on top of that, too, man, these guys come in, let's say you come in at 18 and you're not ready, man, team can still draft you, man, let you sit the bench, but you're getting the whole year NFL workouts, NFL training. There's some big-ass dudes in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some small dudes in the NFL, so it's kind of like, I understand the concept behind it, but I think it's a little ridiculous, man. 3 years is kind of ridiculous. A lot can happen in 3 years, especially playing football.
It is ridiculous. That's why you got these college kids now sitting out these bowl games. Like, for instance, Florida State had the All-American safety Derwin James. He sat out, this year. I mean, he sat out the bowl game because he was trying to get ready for the NFL. His freshman year, he balled out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second year, he got hurt. He messed up his knee. Mm-hmm. So he was out for the whole season. So that technically counts as 2 years. Then he played this year, which is his junior year. But then when they got to the bowl game, they was 6-6. They wasn't playing for no national championship. They wasn't in no playoffs.
Yeah.
So he said, forget that. I'm gonna save myself for the NFL and get ready for the combine. And that's what most of these guys are doing. So they're making a business decision. Now you get people saying, well, why are these guys doing this? They're deserting their team and they disrespecting the university. I said, no. The NCAA, as we talked about before, is one of the biggest ripoffs in sports.
I agree with you, man, because they don't give a damn about these kids. And Florida State don't give a damn, or any university for that matter, man. So you see when Derwin James got hurt, let's say he wouldn't be able to come back from his knee injury. He would have been whatever.
He would have been done.
Yeah, he'd have been JUCO somewhere, if that. You know what I mean? So I don't blame him at all. Like basketball, like I said, man, football is one of those sports, man. It's like... Me personally, nothing against football, but if you have the ability to play football and go pro in another sport, always pick the other sport. I don't care what it is. Baseball, soccer, basketball, always pick the other sport, man. That's Charlie Ward.
Yeah, Charlie Ward did it.
It's better for you.
Because he said he wasn't going to play in the NFL unless he got drafted in the first round. And the Minnesota Vikings at that time, Tony Dungy wanted to actually draft him. Mm-hmm. But then the powers that be, the general manager, they said they wasn't going to pick Charlie. They just didn't think Charlie was a first round pick. Even though he won the national championship at FSU and he was the best quarterback in college football, they just said he wasn't an NFL quarterback for whatever reason. And I agree with you. The NFL is the lowest paid profession in professional sports. Yeah, by far. These guys get guaranteed contracts that might get $30 or $40 million, but for the most part, they on a pay to play basis.
Exactly. Pretty
much.
I
mean, if they don't get their guaranteed money with these contracts, if they don't play these games, they don't get paid. NBA, you can get a $200 million contract. Mm-hmm. Guess what you're gonna get? Now you obviously minus taxes and stuff like that.
Taxes. Then there's certain provisions in place also, like with Chris Bosh.
Right.
They have serious medical issues where you can't play, where you're pretty much forced out of the game. Then the teams, of course, have insurance towards that stuff. If you use like normal basketball injuries, yeah, cause you're getting that whole $200 million.
You're getting that whole $200 million. And the NFL might a guy who signs an $80 million, $90 million contract, if he don't at least get $50 or $60 million of that money guaranteed to him, he's finished. Mm-hmm. Because if you get hurt, they don't have to pay you.
That's it.
I mean, that's just the crazy thing about pro football, and that's why most people are saying, well, now with the CTE stuff, with these concussions, is leading to more people, more things. It's leading to more tragic things after football. Think about Junior Seau.
Correct.
This guy was all-pro linebacker, made all the money in the world, but took a shotgun and blew his brains out.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he blew his chest out. I mean, come on, man. I mean, and people are saying they attribute that to CTE, which is, something, which is brain trauma. So, basically what they're saying, these football players are it's like a car wreck every single time they hit each other.
Yeah.
And the brain, is technically not supposed to be, well, the human body is not made to do that.
It's no technical in this. Our heads are not designed to be. We got other parts of our body that are durable, but our heads are not designed to be banged like that. No.
Right. And a concussion is basically when your brain hits the skull.
Yep.
And that's what happens. You get a concussion because your brain wasn't technically supposed to hit your skull, and that's going to cause hemorrhaging in your brain. That's going to cause paralysis. That's going to obviously cause loss of memory, all kinds of deficiencies that you're gonna have by playing the sport. So, I mean, that's just bare basis of why people don't like football overall no more. They trying to put rules and regulations in there to prevent certain things from happening, but it's a collision sport. It's not a contact sport.
It's a collision sport, exactly. I think it's going to lead to rugby, man, how rugby is. We want you to wrap the guy up before you tackle him. I think that's where football's going to end up at some point. Not to say it's a good thing for the sport, but I think that's where it's going to end up at. They don't want these head-on collisions no more. They want you to start wrapping guys up to tackle them. It's coming soon, man.
Yeah, it has to, because basically it's like the gladiators. I mean, they're in the Coliseum. They are surrounded by thousands of people watching the game. And they got this ball in the middle, and these warriors, if you want to call them that, are in this arena. And like I said, I love football. I mean, I thought basketball was my passion, but football was my love. Because, growing up in the South, everybody loves football, especially in Tallahassee with Florida State and FAMU and all these surrounding NFL teams and stuff like that. You get enamored with watching football. But at the same time, I said, I'm not playing football. I remember when I was at Rickards and I was out there throwing the football. I
thought about it myself one time, too.
You did?
Yeah.
You should have went out there, man.
Nah.
You got a nice little arm.
Nah, man. I thought about playing football, man. Went down there. He's like, it's time to get your pads. I said, you know what, man? This ain't really cut out for me. Didn't even put my pads on, bro. But, it's one of them things, man.
Yeah. But I think the XFL could work. I mean, they can get these players that the NFL didn't deem as, NFL, worthy. Like Tim Tebow, who I thought I hated Tebow because he used to play for Florida and he killed Florida State. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't have anything against that dude. I mean, it was just a competition thing with the team that I liked that he was killing. But with Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow, Kaepernick, that would be a good look. Because he still wants to play football. And speaking of Kaepernick, man, a lot of people, at first when he, took a knee and he was kneeling for the flag, people were saying, what is he doing? He thinks he's Malcolm X or Dr. Martin Luther King. And people didn't see at this time, this man was putting his life at jeopardy. Basically his livelihood. Because he was making money playing football.
Correct.
Now they see him and now they realize what sacrifices this guy made by making a political stand for what he believed in.
People usually don't appreciate you when you're doing things, man. That's usually how it works, man. It's usually the after effect. People are like, you know what, man, now I see why, he was, up all night. I see why he was, out there running in the cold. You know what I mean? The people don't really see that stuff until it pays off.
Yeah.
So that's just nature, man. But back to concussions, man. You think you ever had an undiagnosed concussion?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I think I did too, bro. I think I had at least a couple of them playing basketball, man. That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. Bro. Sometimes you feel loopy. Like, you wasn't supposed to go back on that court.
You go back out anyway.
Yeah, man. I mean, you sitting out there, you shooting the ball, and next thing you know, the rim is in 3D.
Yeah. I've been there before, man. Dizzy, yeah.
Yeah.
Elbow to the head. I got knee in the head before. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, everybody been there to a certain point. So I can't wait till the XFL start. I think it's gonna be good, man.
It makes me mad.
Yeah.
Showtime Vince.
Yeah, you think the XFL should be showing on Netflix?
No, I think that's national TV, man.
National TV?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix is probably gonna start doing sports eventually.
But he won't do Netflix though. He got the WWE network.
Oh, that's true.
He won't do. Now I don't know if he will put it on a WWE network. He may make it like a subdivision for the XFL or whatever. But that's Vince McMahon, bro. He's not about to tackle with Netflix for what?
Do you still watch the WWE?
I was on it heavy, man. Probably I haven't watched it probably in about a good 7 or 8 months now. It's been a while, man. But yeah, I used to watch it sporadically, man. More because it was funny. You know, the entertainment was just so it's just so outlandish. It made you laugh sometimes, man. But you know, it's still WWE. It's like any wrestling, man. It's not something that you really want to. Well, some guys put a lot of stock into it, but you don't really put a lot of stock into it. It's like fantasy. It's something to laugh at for a little bit.
Yeah, you know, as kids, we used to watch that, and we thought that was real life.
Oh, of course. They made it so. They made it so good. You thought it was real.
Yeah, you remember the Ultimate Warrior versus Papa Shango?
Oh man, I thought Ultimate Warrior was gonna die.
Yeah, cause Ultimate Papa Shango put the roots on him.
Every week, man, he couldn't even go wrestle. Papa Shango would come out.
He put that Haitian voodoo on the Ultimate Warrior, and the Ultimate Warrior was in the dressing room throwing up on Campbell's chunky soup.
Yes, sir, man. They bring every week, man. Ultimate Warrior about the wrestling. And Papa Shango just come in the ring or come in the area, and that's it. Ultimate Warrior was done.
Yeah, man.
Good times.
Yeah, that was good times. Rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior. That was what was my guy's real name?
Who?
On the Ultimate Warrior.
I have no clue, man. I can't even remember his name.
Man, yeah, Ultimate Warrior, man. Rest in peace, man. Macho Man too, man. Rest in peace. Just a lot of. I mean, over this time, we lost a lot of people, man, who we watched, you know, when we was younger.
Sign of us getting older.
Yeah, that's true, man. You know, sometimes, do you ever question your mortality?
Oh, of course, man. You gotta start looking at it. Like when the people like right now, even with basketball, man, I see because you know every once in a while, man, over the court. I got NBA TV. I don't know if you have it or not, but usually if an NBA player dies, you know, ex NBA player, older guy dies, it's like okay, rest in peace to so and so. And I'm like, I don't remember these guys, but they starting to get closer. You know what I mean? Like these guys that were playing back in the 70s and like the 60s, like okay, they're passing away, man, but it's starting to get closer, man.
Yeah, man. I think, you know, when I was telling you about the family friend who passed away, Jamie, and she was around my age, you know, it was just the people around me who was passing away. Not necessarily, you know, I mean, obviously watching some certain sports figures that we seen and, you know, pass away, but start watching people pass away who's around your age, you starting to like, man, I mean, it really hits home.
You're right, man.
So, you know, the mortality, you know, as far as, you know, watching other people pass away and start to think about how you know, any day, man, could be your last just because. I mean, think about it. We drive our cars every single day. We at work every single day. We at home every single day. And none of these places are technically safe. Now, your home is technically supposed to be the safest place.
Correct.
Because nobody's supposed to come in there unless you allow them in. They got a key. But at the job, sheesh, you got people walking in and out that building there every single day. Yeah,
my job a little different, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
You got a type of job where people coming in and out. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Streets always watching though.
Streets stay watching.
Streets stay watching.
Yeah, the streets don't have no forgiveness, man.
Never forget that, man. No matter how old you get, no matter how far you go in life, never forget the streets are always watching.
The streets are
always watching. I don't care who you are, how successful you think you are, what kind of house you got, what kind of car you drive. The streets always watching. Trust me.
Yeah, my mom always used to tell me, she said, whatever happens in the dark, gonna come to the light.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I said, all right, but it's still certain things that you don't know, mama. So they gonna stay dark for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. I was talking about Netflix and people having these specials on Netflix, maybe like the XFL, maybe trying to do put their thing on Netflix. You know, in recent news, I mean, this happened sometime last week, but with Monique.
Oh yeah, Monique washed.
Think she's washed? I
mean,
man. You don't think she's relevant? She's won an Oscar for Precious.
Okay. That was 2007 when the Precious come out.
It's been that long. I never watched Precious.
Me neither. 7 may be a stretch. It was at least 2008 now. It was at least 8 years ago.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 2010.
Okay. She had the Monique show.
Trash.
You didn't like the Monique show?
Trash.
Okay. She played in a couple of Tyler Perry movies.
I don't watch Tyler Perry movies. The best thing Monique did for me personally was in Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. She was funny in that.
Okay.
She gave Martin them hands.
Oh, she gave and Cedric the Entertainer was in that, right?
Cedric the Entertainer, Mike Epps, Martin, what's my man name? Green Mile. We always call him Green Mile.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan. Yeah, he was in there. Oh, well, I mean, I'm trying to think of something more recent that Monique did.
She washed, man. That's what you thinking too hard. Well, she was relevant. You be like, oh, she did this, she did that. She's washed, man. Now
I just haven't been checking for her.
Because she's washed.
That doesn't necessarily she's washed. Maybe she's just not relevant for far as what I'm looking for right now.
When people stop checking for you, guess what? You're washed.
I started checking for a few folks though.
Who?
Big Daddy Kane.
Washed. Big Daddy Kane got a podcast. Big Daddy Kane washed, bro.
Big Daddy Kane got a podcast.
He got a podcast. He has a.
It's called No Half Stepping.
Actually, it's an NBA podcast called The Crossover. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Recently, he did an episode about they did like a playoff ranking for the toughest NBA players. So yeah, they got a little news from the NBA. I think it was like I can't remember who. I don't know who won. I can't remember who won. But I think it was like Charles Oakley.
Tell me D Brown was in the top 5.
See, he made the Elite 8. Oh, D Brown, bro.
Charles Oakley, Xavier McDaniel.
Nah, I wasn't the X-Man. Who was the last?
The X-Man isn't in his top 5?
Nah, man.
Did you see the X-Men versus Charles Oakley fight?
Worst fight ever, man.
Hey, man, but the X-Man didn't back down.
That's true. The X-Man wasn't scared of Oakley.
Nah, X-Man wasn't scared.
Yeah, Oakley wasn't doing nothing that fight. Nah. Oakley was scared, I think.
I think Oakley was more scared of the X-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the X-Man, I remember Michael Jordan getting in the X-Man face. You remember that?
Mm-mm.
In the 1992 playoffs, the Bulls versus the Knicks.
Oh, come on, man. 92 playoffs, guys?
I'm sorry, yeah, you right. Yeah, I know more about that classic
that's
stuff.
all you there, man.
But you remember the classic highlight, man, when Michael Jordan was in X-Man face and said, they was talking trash to each other, and he was like, fuck you, bitch.
The X-Man didn't whoop him?
No.
Dang, good.
Ah.
Who backed down? Or did the referees come in the middle?
They came in the middle.
So was nobody scared?
Nobody was scared.
Okay.
Nobody was scared. Now, Anthony Mason shoved Mike a little bit now. Mike looked at him and said, nah, I don't want none of that.
Nope.
Nope, I don't want none of Aunt Mason. Rest in peace, Aunt Mason, too, man.
Didn't Reggie Miller choke MJ?
He didn't choke MJ,
Come
man.
on, man. Reggie Miller, he had his hands around MJ's neck, bro, in that fight.
No, he did, man. He pushed MJ.
Come on, Cam,
no,
man.
No, he didn't, man.
Cam, he put his hands around MJ's neck, bro. I seen it, man.
Nah, man. I'm gonna review that clip again.
Review it, man.
I'm gonna review that clip.
But everybody got somebody you're scared of, man. You seen Boogie and Zach Randolph? Yeah, cause it's a classic. It was probably it was years ago now, man. Boogie always trying to bully somebody, man, but Zach Randolph got in his face. Cousins ain't want no part of that.
Really?
No part, but I ain't never seen Boogie back down like that, man. He was like, he wouldn't even look at Zach Randolph.
Man.
Yeah, Zach Randolph was all in his face, spitting on him and everything, man. Boogie had his head down. He ain't want no part of that.
You know what, man? You right about that. Because I remember growing up, you was like, man, these dudes in the neighborhood, you just like, hey, I'm gonna instantly cheese up if he come at me.
Mm-hmm.
You just like, not right now.
Yeah.
They I'm trying to think of most of these guys I know are in prison, to be honest with you.
About Suge Knight?
Suge Knight?
Yeah, what about Suge?
Nah, I ain't worried about Suge.
So you gonna get Suge them hands?
Oh, I get Suge them hands now.
But in 94, 95,
that
folklore, you were like, man, nah, bro, I want no part of Suge.
I think you more worried about Suge because of the fact that he had people around him more than just him.
Exactly.
Because I think that's what the gang mentality is all about. Is that you're not dealing with one person, you're dealing with the whole gang.
You gotta deal with all of them. Exactly, correct.
Yeah. So sometimes you have people in the neighborhood who had a big family. Mm-hmm. If you fought one kid, you gonna have to fight everybody.
That's true.
So you're like, sheesh, I ain't about to deal with everybody today.
Nah, not today. Not any day, really, man. You don't want that. You don't want no problems, man. You got to fight every time you go home from school. Nah, I'm good.
Nah, you gonna earn a certain respect after a while, and they're gonna respect you, and you gonna respect them. Mm-hmm. But why go through that classic, the Americanized Hatfields versus McCoy, type thing, man? I ain't about to go through that, man. Yeah. Nah, man. But going back to Monique and with the Netflix thing, Netflix basically offered her $500,000 to do a comedy special. Mm-hmm. And Monique got in it, basically she got on YouTube and Facebook Live, and she was saying that Netflix offered her $500,000, but they paid Amy Schumer, $13 million, I think.
Amy Schumer more popping.
Is Amy Schumer more funnier?
It depends on what your degree of funny is.
I listened to Amy Schumer for like 5 minutes.
Okay, it depends what kind of comedy. She's a raunchy comedian, which a lot of women tend to go to in order to get their funny out. I believe. I don't think it's not all women. There's some women who are just naturally funny, but a lot of women, female comedians, tend to go to the raunchy edge in order to get their like shock value. You know what I mean? You're almost laughing at it because you're shocked she actually said that. That's what Amy Schumer is to me. I don't think she's not funny. Trainwreck was a great movie. I love Trainwreck. She did a good job in Trainwreck. But with Monique, I don't know, man. I just don't. She says funny things, but when I go and sit down and watch a Monique comedy special, no.
Would you watch an Amy Schumer comedy special?
No. But she's more popping than Monique is right now. That's what it boils down to.
So it's relevance over proven success.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay. I mean,
ask Trinidad James. He'll tell you all about that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You make one song, you popping. Def Jam, we're gonna get this man $1 million. You got some artists who've been here spitting for years. They're hungry. They're not paying that kind of money to. You know what I mean? They're going for the hot thing right now. Not saying Amy Schumer is the comedian on the spot right now, but she is more relevant right now than Monique is. This is pretty much what it boils down to.
So it's a buyer's market, really. So what we're buying is what's hot right now compared to what's in the past.
Correct.
Now you compare their accolades. There's no comparison between Amy Schumer and Monique.
Yeah, Monique been in the game longer.
Yeah, and rightfully so. She should be respected as a legend in the female comedy world. Now, granted, I'm not checking for Monique in her comedy specials. I personally like people like S'more.
S'more, she used to be so funny.
What's my lady who plays on that? She don't play on the show, but she's on the show called The Talk. Cheryl Underwood.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Cheryl Underwood. I seen her live when we had the comedy club here in Tallahassee, and they actually took it away because the guy didn't want to pay the liquor license or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, over there off Tennessee Street.
Yeah, it was man. She was funny.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah, she was funny. Who else I like? I'm trying to think of a female comedian that I like.
About Whoopi.
I never checked for Whoopi like that.
Okay.
I never really checked for her like that.
It's honestly, man, it's not really a lot of them. There's a lot of female comedians, but it's honestly being a comedian is more of a male-driven market. Not saying that it's not funny female comedians out there, but it's more of a male-driven market. So finding like Tiffany Haddish right now, she's doing her thing.
Yeah, she popping.
It's a lot of female comedians, but
Wanda Sykes,
she might be top. Wanda Sykes funny.
Yeah,
Wanda Sykes good and funny. She might be the top female comedian.
Okay. That's your opinion.
Like I said, there's a lot of them out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what type of flavor you like. I mean, more it's regional in a lot of ways. If you want to say that, it's segmented, right? So more black people gonna gravitate to more black female comedians than a white female comedian, unless she caters to that particular market. You know, so certain things that but you got some people who basically break down those barriers, like David Chappelle, Louis C.K., Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy. Richard Pryor is considered the GOAT.
Yeah, black or white. Most people used to say Richard Pryor. Yeah,
right, because he went all the way there. I mean, Bill Cosby.
Yep. Robin Williams.
I mean, you got some of these guys who just transcend everything. They're just greater than the actual genre. They transcend any barriers. They're just legends.
Yeah, and funny is funny, man. Yeah. Black, white, female, male, funny is funny.
Yeah, funny is funny, and I agree with that from the general purposes. But sometimes you just have a certain market. That's who's always gonna buy into you.
Correct.
Amy Schumer, she's a Jewish white woman who's gonna have more white women who's gonna probably come to her shows, and that segment's gonna spend a lot of money with her.
Correct.
I mean, that's just bare minimum. I mean, you got to have, it's a supply and demand, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you might have some black folks who might go out there and see Amy Schumer who find her funny.
Yeah.
But she has a corner market, probably a liberal side, white woman fan base, which is going to go out there and spend money with her.
Yeah, man, I think she's funny though.
You think so? Hold on. So you think Amy Schumer's funny?
Yeah, I never said she wasn't funny. I mean, but I go and see Amy Schumer's show? No. But I think she's funny, yeah.
In the movies? Go watch.
From what I've seen in movies, yeah.
Okay, watch it. See, for me, we talking about two different things then.
You talking about stand-up?
I'm talking about stand-up.
You can't really. If a person's a comedian, you got to consider the entire body of work.
True indeed, but that's a comedian is. They make their bones on the road and doing stand up.
That's not necessarily true because there's not a lot of artists who can work both sides of the table if you think about it.
That's true, but that's like saying the All-Star game is making the basketball player better. If he get 50 in the All-Star game and he's just he's an All-Star for a couple of years, but he's always balling. He's getting 30 and 40 in the NBA All-Star game. I'm not going to take the All-Star game as a collective whole. I mean,
But you got to take one or the other, bro. How many people were good in both sides? Name me the comedians that were good on both sides.
Well, that goes back to propaganda in Hollywood then. Because some people have more marketable flavor to other people. Once again, Amy Schumer caters to a liberal pride side of some white women, right?
I get where you're coming from. You gotta give me more on that now.
Okay, all right. So let's just say, for instance, Monique, she probably has a demographic. Her fan base is probably black women at a certain age, and maybe some black men, right?
Correct.
Okay. Most people who going to spend money in these markets who go to see these movies.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not all those black women. They might like her, but you got to look who's got that spending power when it comes to you wanting to see these people.
Correct. But do you think, what I'm saying is, do you think Monique was funny in movies or funny on stand-up? That's what I'm looking at. I'm just going to the basics.
To be honest with you, I can't give you a true definition of either one of them. Because I took the little bit I've seen of Amy Schumer, and I put it, and I shouldn't do this because we talked about this before, not taking a small piece of somebody and make it in the whole.
Correct.
But watching that comedy, listen, I can see somebody play basketball and say within the first 3 or 4 minutes, I said, nah, this ain't gonna work. This dude is straight garbage.
But see, you can't really judge him like that though. Basketball's a different thing. Basketball is a sport. Either you good at a sport or you not good at a sport.
Why comedy? Comedy is a comedic sport.
Not necessarily. I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because a lot of comedy has to do with writers also.
Well, see, now
you can put me and you in the same movie, and we can deliver them lines. Either you can deliver them funnier than I can, or I can deliver them funnier than you can. But they can be the same lines. Basketball is not that. There's not an option there. Either you're good at it or you're not.
True. I mean, true indeed. But I mean, if you have that goes back to like the hip hop, right?
Correct.
Would you consider Drake as an all time great? Because he might have some reference tracks that he had writers with him. Because if I'm in a room with you and you're a spitter, right? You're an MC. You know, and I'm writing something down, but you say, Cam, hey man, how about you tweak this a little bit, right? Is that considered you helping me writing the track, or that's like you just giving me a little spin on it?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm giving you my opinion basically. Whether you decide to take it or not, that's on you.
But if somebody writes a whole song,
exactly,
in rap,
and you go out and deliver it trash, then you're trash.
But see, but the dude Quentin Miller who wrote the song, what was the song that he wrote that Drake used that reference? I forget the actual song.
Yeah,
But Drake sounds better on the song because he's Drake.
Exactly. So does that make Quentin Miller trash?
No, it doesn't make Quentin Miller trash.
Drake can deliver it better than Quentin Miller can, right?
Yeah, but okay, so how we go back to the writers and the comedians?
Exactly. So we got a movie right now. We got a movie, 8 Mile 2.
Okay.
And you got me in it. Well, I'm not going to use 8 Mile. It's not a comedy. But any kind of comedy. Caddyshack. Take it back to the old days, all right? So they had Caddyshack and they said, Mike, we want you to act these lines out. And I read the exact same lines you did. That's why people audition for parts, man, because it's about who does that part better. Because they all got the same lines, right? We all go to audition for the same lines. It just depends on how you deliver it, which gets you the part of the movie, whether it's a comedy, a drama, an action film, or whatever it may be. So you can be a not funny person. I don't think Peyton Manning funny, but Peyton Manning is funny in commercials, right? You think Peyton Manning funny in his everyday life?
Oh, he gets a little giggle out of me from time to time in these commercials.
Exactly, because he's delivering those basic lines funny. Now you put Eli in that same commercial. Eli just you can see how dry that probably end up being.
I told you Eli has Down syndrome. Sometimes I worry about Eli, man.
Eli got a plastic face.
CTE might be taking effect in Eli, man. He need to probably go see a doctor, man, because he's a quarterback and he gets hit a lot.
That's true. You're right, man.
So I don't know what's going on with Eli. Listen, I agree with you on that aspect, but
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
go
man.
ahead.
But I'm gonna use the word Foot Locker. Foot Locker makes a million commercials with a whole bunch of different athletes. Some athletes make it funny, and some you like, come on, man, really, bro. So it all depends on how you deliver those lines.
Right.
Some of those athletes, man, are just dry. It's not gonna be funny. But then some of them,
It goes to marketability. I mean, think about it. Hollywood had a certain actor or actress that they would just always want for a particular role, no matter how good they might have been in the public eye, they just have a certain mold. Now Hollywood is a lot of people are starting to break down those Hollywood barriers as well, and starting to have more people of diversities. Black, a black man, a black woman, an Asian man, an Asian woman, a Latino man, a Latino woman. They breaking down these barriers over these years that Hollywood only had one particular mindset to look at one particular person. And now they're starting to expand to different funnies, right? They have different comedians. Kevin Hart is killing it.
Yeah.
In movies, he's it. If you don't find Kevin Hart funny, that's one thing. His stand-ups. If you don't find his movies funny, that's fine too. But right now, he is the greatest thing going as far as male comedians. David Chappelle might be making a comeback, but Kevin Hart is more marketable in movies than David Chappelle as we speak today.
But what made Kevin Hart more marketable in movies than David Chappelle is?
Well, maybe because Kevin Hart can play those, like you said, those lines. Maybe he can say those lines a little bit better than David Chappelle. I don't know. What's to say? Maybe David Chappelle just don't, capture the audience like that when he's in Hollywood trying to speak certain lines.
And that's what it boils down to, man. So like I was saying with Amy Schumer, back to Amy Schumer and Monique, it's not necessarily a matter of issue of who's, like you said, her stand-up was terrible. Okay, it could have been terrible, man, but in the movies, she does those lines. She's not writing her own lines for the movie. Somebody's writing those lines for her. Mm-hmm. So she's performing those lines well enough in order to get that, to make people want to go and see the movie she's in.
Well, once again, that goes back, like I said, to demographics. You got certain people who are going to spend with you no matter what. We already know how fickle the black dollar is. Every single time
that's true.
Yeah, we would spend certain things on certain people, and then certain people would just we haven't seen them in a while, so we'll wait till that come to the red box or something like that. Taraji P. Henson, when I went to go see that movie on Mary Jane, the whole theater was packed.
You went and saw that movie?
Yeah, Shona wanted to go see it.
How terrible was it? Because it don't look good.
I tell you this, it wasn't bad. It was a solid movie. It was actually better than what I thought it was.
Okay.
So, but they went and supported her because of what? Because she's on what's that show called on Fox? She played on that music show. Empire.
Yeah. Top that too. Taraji Henson has a history of just being a strong black woman and being in our culture in general. We support that. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of that, remember Waiting to Exhale?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that was the most crowded I've ever seen any kind of movie, facility, theater, anything, man, because they were going to support the movie itself and the fact that there was strong black women playing in those movies. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a lot of what Taraji is, too, because Taraji, she's a good actor. Let's not even actress. Jeez, either way. Mm-hmm. So let's not take that away from her at all. But her character she normally plays are strong black women and women like that. You know what I mean? She gains that support just from that alone. Mm-hmm. I don't think nobody was like Mary Jane didn't even have any build up.
It did.
You seen a couple of commercials before it came out, then it came out. So I think a lot of that crowd was because of her history of acting.
Right. Agreed. I mean, when you think about it, that whole movie theater that you went to go see Waiting to Exhale was mostly black people, right?
Yeah.
You might have had a few white folks in there who
I might seen them.
Well, I seen a couple of white folks in wanting to see for the Taraji P. Henson movie Mary Jane. Mm-hmm. So, they watch Empire. So she has a fan base off of Empire, maybe off of Baby Boy, maybe off of certain things that she has done in the past that she's captured she's got a certain demographic now because of Empire. Correct. Same thing with Amy Schumer. She has a certain demographic, and people cater to that. You have certain people that you know you're going to target. Same thing when they start to market things to people. When they market shoes, when they market clothes, when they market certain foods, they have a certain demographic that they know they're going to attract to. Exactly. And certain people are going to spend that money regardless.
Your target.
And these people who like Amy Schumer, come from a certain demographic. And they are mostly white liberal women from my research of her that going to spend money with her no matter what. Mm-hmm. So Netflix said, we see the spending power in her, and we're going to invest $13 million in her to do this comedy special on Netflix because we know people are going to go out there and watch it.
Exactly. It's going to give us a return. Netflix ain't in the business of blowing money, even though Netflix is in trouble right now. It's not in the business of blowing money, you know what I mean? They're in the business of making money.
Yeah.
So back to the original point, when they said, Monique, we're going to give you that $500,000, like, So show me Monique's history of getting that kind of money for a movie or bringing that kind of money in for a movie.
From what I heard, she did Precious on for nothing.
There you go.
So, because that movie didn't get critical acclaim until it went to Sundance.
Mm-hmm.
And when it went to Sundance in L.A., that's when it actually went to theaters. Because Sundance actually brought the movie out. Lee Daniels, who does Empire, actually did Precious. Mm-hmm. And Monique played, obviously, the mother in Precious. And when it went to Sundance, it went to theaters. Mm-hmm. And then it started to get that national buzz around, the nation for people to go watch this movie. Because it was just, obviously, it was more catered to, black folks because of the storyline, because of it being in, in the hood and, certain things that we know happens in the hood. But a lot of people went and spent money to see that movie. Exactly. All demographics.
Exactly. So that's the thing with Monique. Maybe we need to pick better movies to be in.
Well, once again, people got to, want to put her in certain roles that are not technically typecast either.
Exactly. And she stepped out of a comedian role in that movie. She wasn't a comedian in that movie. So she stepped out of a comedian role in that movie to be a serious actor or more of like a drama type movie. So maybe she need to...
Right.
I got love for Monique.
I
I'm
do
not
too.
hating on Monique.
Nah, it's no hating on that woman. I want her to get... I would ask too.
Yeah, you always ask.
She got 500. They gave her 500,000. What? This is what.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. See, when you tell the common person like me and you,
mm-hmm.
see, but once again, we not in that realm of what she's in, so she might have gotten more. But if she put 500,000, if they gave her $500,000, and she felt like, well, if I'm gonna do it for $500,000, my, comedians. They stand up is their lifeblood because they take these things on the road. Mm-hmm. They take the same material on the road. That's why they don't want you recording stuff in the yeah, because they take the same stuff and they don't want to have the element of surprise messed up from New York City to LA to Miami to Atlanta. They want to have the same stuff. So if she does a special, mm-hmm. she's gonna have to pour her heart into, and this is gone because once you put it out there for the masses, it's gone. So she wants to capitalize maybe on her material to get the most out of that because she knows she can't be able to use it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that maybe her plight in her mind, and maybe she added in the fact that she's an Oscar winner actress and she played in a lot of movies. And
she didn't win an Oscar for being funny though.
Yeah,
you gotta look at it that way.
True indeed, but she won an Oscar.
That's true.
So I mean that's on her resume. Regardless if it was funny or not, it's part of her resume.
Okay.
So Amy Schumer didn't win an Oscar. She just but the thing is, it's
popping right now.
She popping.
Netflix gonna get that return on their money.
They will. They definitely will.
Exactly. So $13 million for Monique.
Not right now. I mean, I can see. Look, listen. She hasn't been relevant in the sense of Amy Schumer and David Chappelle and Chris Rock are different. They legends. They have
a lineage of booming.
Right. So people want to see them. Mm-hmm. That's like if Kobe. Well, I won't say that. I won't say. But that's if any legend takes a break and mm-hmm. comes back, they're more anticipating that people that break for 2 or 3 years. People are going nuts because the David Chappelle show that is legendary.
See, now I'm gonna go back with David Chappelle too. I don't think David Chappelle is funny in stand up. David Chappelle's show was probably one of the funniest shows ever, but his stand up, mm-hmm. I don't see it.
I liked his stand up. I watched the Netflix special. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Was it funny?
It was funny to me, but okay. I think David Chappelle was more on there preaching than actually telling.
That's what I heard. He doing a lot of he preaching to it, which isn't bad. That's what he want. That's what he want to do. People pay to see it. It's still the same thing, but we talking about funny here, just pure funny.
Mm-hmm. See, but your definition of funny could be different, compared to what my definition. It is different.
Yeah, we all think so. We don't like the same stuff.
Yeah,
of course.
But at the same time, that if David Chappelle puts out a comedy special, you're still more apt to watch that. Even though you might not find him funny, you're like, what, I'm about to turn it on and give him a chance.
Correct.
And that's why Netflix invests money in him because of the show. Now, you felt that show was funny. The show was classic. Mm-hmm. I mean, the guy started off that show with one of the greatest episodes, greatest skits I ever seen in my life. This man had a racist black man who was blonde in the KKK.
Clayton Bigsby. Yeah.
You can't That
you can think of it. I'm pretty sure it's been thought of, but it's executed.
Executed. He executed that to the T.
It was funny.
It was funny. Yeah. Nobody can deny that. From any culture, any race, that was funny. You just have to sometimes you have to put your prejudice aside and just enjoy just laugh at it.
Correct. Funny is funny.
Now, you people are gonna say, well, we shouldn't be laughing at that because of the lineage that happened to our people. I see,
it's funny.
The thing, it was funny.
Funny is funny. It's pretty much what it boils down to.
It was funny.
Yeah.
So that was classic.
Yeah. He had a lot of classic skits on there, man. So you got to give it Dave Chappelle, man. His people, I agree with you. People going to come see him. But how much do you think Monique worth?
In today's society?
Yeah, maybe $2 million?
About 2. See, I would have took the 500.
And I kept my damn mouth shut.
I wouldn't have kept my mouth shut. I would have took the 500 and flipped it. Why she can't? The thing is, I can understand you going on, Facebook Live or YouTube and saying your piece. Mm-hmm. You can do that. We got a podcast now that we can say our piece about certain things.
Correct.
Right? But in this day and age, you can take grasp of your own destiny more than ever before.
Correct.
You don't need to go to the record companies and actually have them print up CDs.
SoundCloud. Shout out to SoundCloud.
Definitely shout out to SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
You can put your music out on these places.
Yeah.
And people can go out there and grab it.
A lot of SoundCloud rappers are actually rapping right now. So,
Exactly. G-Eazy, SoundCloud rapper.
Hey, come on, cuz. G-Eazy a legend, bro.
You like G-Eazy?
Yeah, I like G-Eazy, man.
Okay.
Man, go listen to Things Fall Apart. G-Eazy, listen to Things Fall Apart. I guarantee you like that album.
Okay, I'll check it out. I mean, I like some of his songs. Right now I'm not feeling him like that.
Listen to Things Fall Apart. I think you probably on the current G-Eazy. What G has he still went to the commercial side, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make that money.
I understand.
But listen to Things Fall Apart.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, but she could have took that money and flipped it. There's ways of tripping your money. Sometimes you got to have somebody invest in you to take what you got. Because remember, I'm pretty sure she can put some things in that contract too. So she said, well, we get this amount of views on this particular comedy special, this has to kick in. Mm-hmm. And if that kicks in, then I get another special for this amount of money, right?
Netflix said, nope, $500,000 is all you're getting.
Taking that money and flipping it.
Okay, but it's okay. I agree with you. Nothing wrong with that, man. But see, we don't know how Monique living either.
I see, once again, that could be, see, to me, all money is relevant. Mm-hmm. See, if you owe me a penny, you owe me a penny.
Correct.
See, some people $500,000 ain't relevant to them.
That's true.
Mad respect to her. She got her paper up.
That's true.
But to me, it's about it's the love of the game. So if you have, like, if a guy wants to play basketball and they offer him a veteran's minimum because he had like 2 years off and he was an all-star at one point, but he was offered a veteran's minimum. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, I'm not going to take this. I was getting paid, $20 million, 2 or 3 years ago. But your value, according to them, isn't $20 million no more.
Exactly. And when it all boils down to it, you can't, there's no way to circumvent the NBA. If that's the Premier League. So the NBA league say your value is $1 million.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
But you can get your weight back up. And And there's players who have done that historically in the NBA.
It's the same with Monique.
Yeah.
Monique, like you said, you got a good point. Take that $500,000. You can get on YouTube or Facebook or whatever she got on and make your statements. I feel like I should have got paid more, but guess what, Monique? You take that $500,000, you go out there and you bang it out. And then next time you come around, you can up the price. You know what I mean? You got to start somewhere. She can't. Now I know of course, your self-worth is worth more than anything. You're always going to think you're worth more than other people might think you are. She's probably thinking like, yeah, I'm worth $13 or $14 million like Amy Schumer getting, but at the same time, if Netflix only willing to pay you $500,000, either you find somebody else to do a comedy special with, or you take that $500,000 and keep moving. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She may have not had other options. And she's sitting there complaining about the $500,000 Netflix is offering her. What about any other, studios or anybody else? Were they offering her more money, or was that the only offer she had? See, I would assume that she probably, my guess, because she has to be a great businesswoman, that she probably had to shop it at Hulu, couple different Amazon. Places. Yeah, I mean, you have to go out there and do that. You have to price shop. Mm-hmm. You just don't stop at one spot, because when you got business people and you in the place of business, you got to shop everything. Exactly. So if somebody else gave her more money, then Which I don't think happened. It may have happened, I don't know. But if somebody gave her more money, then we'll just move on, take your bread, and keep it moving. Ain't no point in trashing Netflix. You might have to go back to Netflix one day. So that may have been the best offer she had, or maybe the only offer she had.
Maybe. I mean, she could have took that and, like I say, put it on YouTube. I don't. It's a lot of things that you can do, and I'm not mad at people going out there telling them what their worth is. If you feel like you need to say that, then say your piece. But understand two things. One, that you're gonna probably burn a bridge with somebody in that organization because you're doing this. But I understand she's bringing light to it, because what she's saying is that if they're offering me $500,000, and one of the Sykes, like I mentioned before, she said she actually got offered lower than Netflix actually tried to give her to Monique. So she got lower than Monique. She probably got $300,000 offer to put her comedy stand on Netflix. So
I think one of the Sykes is way funnier than Monique too.
So if you feel that way about one of the Sykes, you think that she's gonna get more money, and she has a market too. She's a lesbian woman who got that audience. I mean, that's a market.
But once again, it's still relevant.
Wanda Sykes is relevant to her. She's gonna be relevant to her core fan base, no matter what.
Exactly. Same with Monique. Some people think Monique. I'm pretty sure she's famous. She's a famous comedian, so she has a core thing. But at the same time, well, I ain't seen Wanda Sykes in anything.
I've seen Wanda Sykes in nothing lately.
Exactly. So Monique probably slightly above that as far as things you've seen in lately. And then Amy Schumer is constantly making movies. Every time you turn around, she has somebody else's movie. So I think what Netflix is doing, like you were saying earlier, Netflix is making those movies and stuff, or putting this money out based on either you got a history of selling out arenas. Chris Rock, for example, and I think Chris Rock started it, right? Wasn't he one of the first ones to come back with the big deal? Or you're a relevant comedian. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kevin Hart can go over there and get a bunch of money if that's what he decided to do. So it all depends on how relevant you are, as well as having a history. You got to have a history of, Michael Jordan, for example. We go back to basketball once again. Michael Jordan washed. Jordan ain't played basketball in 20-something, 30 years. If Jordan wanted to go play for a team right now, I guarantee he'll get more than the veterans minimum at his age.
Oh, yeah.
At his age, just because they know they're going to get that return on their investment. Even if Jordan come out for 2 minutes a game and shoot twice, they're going to get that return on their investment. So I'm thinking with the same thing with Monique. We're going to offer you $500,000. We probably can get that money back, maybe a little bit more. But $13 million... That's a lot of money. Honestly, I don't think Amy Schumer deserves $13 million. To be honest with you, but
she actually said that they renegotiated her contract at first because it was 11, and she said she gonna get 13, but she said she wasn't worth what not Kevin Hart, but Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle was, because they got $20 million. So she said, I'm not worth that type of money because I know they're legends.
She's being humble.
She's being very humble.
If they would have negotiated that cash for her, she would have took it.
She would have took it.
Exactly.
Most definitely. She would have took it. But then again, when you was talking about Monique and Amy Schumer in movies, Monique has had a bad go lately, again in movies, because of things that she said about Oprah, some certain things she said about Lee Daniels, certain things she said about Tyler Perry. She's felt that she's been disrespected, as a black woman in that industry with her peers, because she felt like when she did that solid for Lee Daniels in Precious, that at the time, she was doing that for him, but then when the money started flowing in, he didn't come back and retroactively pay her. Now she took what she took at the deal. That's just like when anybody, like if I sell you a beat at $500, right? Remember that OT Genesis beat? For I'm in Love with the Coco.
OT Genesis is a legend, bro.
But he bought that beat from a kid who was 18 years old. The kid sold him the beat for, I think it was $250, maybe $500.
So was it on OT to come back and pay him retroactively?
But no, see, because the kid took the money. That's on the kid.
That's you're right.
So, but at the same time, within the community, that's what we always say. We got to take care of you got to take care of the community. But when you deal with business, and when you deal with people who are business minded, they're saying, well, you signed this contract, this is what I'm going to give you. And I'm not mad at that, because you got to remember, everybody doesn't have the same thought pattern as maybe me and you. For me, if you did me a solid and the movie didn't turn out what I thought it was going to turn out, and then, we put it out on Sundance, and next thing you know, the movie blows up, we make a ton of money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, you know what? I appreciate that. Here's this off the top.
Yeah, because we got a different understanding.
Right. But I'm not mad but Lee Daniels, from what she said, allegedly, that he did that to her. And same thing with Oprah. She basically was saying that, with Oprah, that how Oprah, her and Oprah used to be very cool, and how their relationship soured because of certain situations that happened with Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry, and basically she's been kicked out of the movie industry.
Yeah, so you can't get on Oprah bad side.
See, Oprah's
powerful woman in entertainment.
That's a powerful woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a powerful woman. That woman did cocaine in the 80s, and she's a billionaire.
It's Oprah a legend.
She's a legend.
Yeah, Oprah's a legend.
Allegedly, she did cocaine. No, I ain't no allegedly. She wrote it in the book.
Yeah, so
yeah.
But just like I said, man, that Oprah, you get the Oprah push, man. Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil getting plenty bread.
Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray.
Oprah. Hell, there's a lot of people, but you get that push from Oprah.
What about Gail? Gail King.
Man, Gail washed.
Dang.
Speaking of wash, man, what about Stedman?
He not washed, man. Stedman is the example of what every male should do when they have a powerful woman. Play your position, and you gonna get paid. Be quiet.
I see my dog Stedman on TV.
I haven't seen Stedman in years. They've been together since the 80s and never got married.
It's common law.
It's
man.
common law. They spiritually married, man.
Yeah, Stedman on TV talking about, yeah, as long as my woman do good, I'm good. I said, you damn right you good.
What?
I hope her getting paid you straight, bro.
Man, if she getting, man, I wouldn't care what. Oh, she came home and she in that bank account, what she got in her bank account, is she eating, we eating. Every time I speak of Oprah, I said we. I make sure to say we.
Yep.
I be speaking French.
My baby doing good. Y'all see my baby on TV?
My baby.
Every day.
Every single day I be singing her high praises. Oprah's a very powerful woman. But what you think about the Black Panther movie? Because, once again, that movie, because of the cast, people say, well, it's a Marvel movie, right? So you got a lot of people who didn't know the Black Panther was actually part of the Avengers. My brother-in-law, a couple of years back, was telling me if they're gonna do an Avengers movie, they have to put the Black Panther in. I said, "Who's the Black Panther?" He said they can't do it because he's a part of the Avengers. He's in Wakanda, and he's the richest superhero ever. He's richer than he has a country.
Oh, who got more cheese though? But side note on that, between I ain't mean to get off Black Panther. Who got more cheese? Bruce Wayne, Iron Man.
That's a good question. I would say Tony Stark.
Okay, Tony Stark. All right, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, but Black Panther in the comic books was the prince of his country, and they have a special type of metal in that country that they make that the world needs. So and what you think that country actually is not. It's outer space in that area. So basically, with that movie they're making, it's part of the Marvel universe. But the characters, it's an all black cast mostly. The main characters, and that movie is gonna break a lot of records.
Man, they said that movie breaking records ain't even came out yet.
Because
pre-sales.
Now, one thing,
it's showing love.
It's showing love. One reason is because it has a all black cast in there. And, a lot of black people are going to want to see this a superhero called the Black Panther. And they actually got a White Panther, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah, so
it's probably Tom Brady.
Yeah, it might be Tom Brady. Tom Brady might be he could play he's the GOAT, he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, but either which way, with that movie, that is breaking records because black folks in America spend close to $1 trillion. Now we don't in this country. There's not too many industries that black people technically own in America. So their money is going to spending. Now, most people say you need to recycle that money throughout the community so we can have something in the community that will make the community greater. So you can compete worldwide. That's what America is to a lot of people. It's just a corporation.
Of course.
So if you can build your own community and learn how to, make your own clothes, make your own shoes, make this and that, then you can compete. Because that's what America is about. It's about big business. But with the Black Panther movie, like I was saying, but all demographics want to see that movie because it's a part of the Marvel universe.
Correct.
So now you capture one demographic just because of the cast, and it's and it has a lot of people want to see. You have Michael B. Jordan, you have Chad Boswick. I think that's the Black Panther's name. He's played every character.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
But
so
it's Chadwick.
Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick, something like, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Close enough.
But that movie's is going to break records.
Yeah. Because you getting two demographics. You're getting your diehard Marvel comic book fans, as well as black people who don't even know who the hell a Black Panther is, and just want to go see the movie because of the cast.
Yeah.
Which is, go for it.
Go for it. I mean, but Marvel seen an opportunity.
Shout out to Marvel.
And shout out to Marvel. They capitalizing on that. And shout out to Marvel too. They got so many studios in Atlanta. They got most of their scenes are shot in Atlanta.
Didn't know that.
Man, Atlanta. Matter of fact, I think Atlanta's probably gonna get that Amazon distribution center or wherever that warehouse that they're shopping around. Yeah.
I'm about to move to the A.
The A is popping, man. You know, the A is popping.
There's too much traffic in the A.
Yeah, it's a lot of traffic in the A. Yeah, you have to deal with that stuff from time to time. If you want to get from point A to point B, if you want to drive 20 miles, it's going to be 50 minutes.
Exactly, man. If you're going through the city, you got to go 1,000 miles an hour on the highway. And, I hate driving fast.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, well, actually, let me tell you that. I like driving fast.
I don't, man. I'm not a fan. Especially not in traffic. Like, if I was on a racetrack somewhere, I'm pretty sure I'd enjoy it. But, like, in Atlanta, man, when you bumper to bumper with people when you're going 90 miles an hour, I'm just so cautious about driving, man. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, you should be. I mean, because every single day is life and death. When you crank up that car and you hit that road, I was driving down the street. I was coming down, what street is that? I think it was Gain Street. But I was coming down Gain Street, and I stopped at a light. But the light turned green.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wait. And I looked, and the guy was just flying down the street. And if I would have ran the light, I had the green. Mm-hmm. It was red for more than 5 seconds.
My man.
I would have got smashed and killed.
Probably was texting or something, but I ain't paying attention to it. It's so terrible. Especially here in Tallahassee, all these students, man. Everybody's texting. I seen a woman yesterday putting on makeup in traffic. I thought that was just a joke. I never seen somebody doing that for real.
Dang.
Never seen that for real. Putting on eyeliner in traffic while driving. I said, man, you gotta be kidding.
Yeah, man. That texting and driving, and I'm part of that too, man.
Oh no, I text all day. Yeah, it's perfectly safe. But I'm talking about putting on makeup while driving, man. No, that's too much.
So you think texting and driving is safer?
Perfectly safe, man. It's a skill, bro. Some people drive better while they're texting, man. It's a skill, man.
So you gotta be distracted while you're driving.
Exactly, man.
Oh man.
You don't really want to get into no real legitimate text. Like you just like here and there text while you're driving, but you don't want to get into no real definite text. Take too much attention off the road.
Come on, man. I don't even think that's...
Hey, man, facts don't matter, bro. I told you that, man. Driving while texting is safer.
That is Mike Johnson. He endorses that. That is no way the words and expressions of Cameron Huff. I will leave that to Mike Johnson. Because I don't believe in texting and driving, even though I'm texting and driving, so I'm actually a hypocrite.
There you go. But we in this together though.
Yeah, we in it together. But I don't think it's safe. I do it because your phone is right there, right? And you know what happens, man? Your phone becomes a part of your body after a while.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to have if your phone's gone for 5 seconds, like some things that trigger your mind and say, "Where's this phone at? Where's this phone at?"
Sometimes you gotta detox from that phone.
Yeah, man, you gotta detox from the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little fun fact about the phone: the phone this phone would not work unless they get this precious little commodity item from Nigeria, and it's called coltan.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that, the phone is not operable.
Sounds some bullshit.
Okay, look it up. Look it up.
I'm just messing with you.
Boy, I tell you, man, when you get facts out here in this podcast, man, people tend to discredit you. So
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh boy.
But when speaking of fun facts, you know, hip hop is banned in China on television.
I heard about that, man. I don't even know what to say about that, man. I'm glad I live in America. It's as much as terrible as our country is, I'm glad I live here, man. Because that's.
You know, people look at America as a free fall. Some people look at America as the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, that's about right. A lot of stuff here, man, that shouldn't be going on. But
that depends on how you feel about certain things.
That's true, so, exactly.
I mean, it's your own personal dealings with. But one thing America has going for them is that you can do pretty much anything, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's rules and regulations that prevent a lot of things because a lot of people say, you might be physically free, but you're not mentally free.
Correct. It's limitations. It's laws. Laws are in place for a reason. But can you imagine having hip hop and it being taken away from you? Now, not having it, never having it is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But all the music in my phone is probably 92% hip hop. And so think about not having that. Just oh my goodness, that'd be terrible. I think I have to quit my job. I can't go through my job without my music. I gotta have my music at night, man.
So if you're not listening to Bone Crusher, you're gonna be terrified.
Bone Crusher.
Listen, you got two people. You got two different. You got maybe. You probably got like 15 different factions in hip hop, but probably the main two is right now is real hip hop compared to lyrics and mumble rap.
That's not hip hop. That's Lonzo Ball rap.
See, but China was looking at the fact that what is being portrayed in hip hop culture, like the denigrating of women, drinking lean, selling drugs, all of these things that hip hop early creation wasn't about. That it was telling a story. The first, even though most people want to say NWA made the first gangster rap album. To me, the first gangster rap song was the Furious 5. You remember that song, Don't Push Me, Cause I'm Close to the... If you listen to the lyrics of that song, they actually talking about all these rappers. What are these rappers? They're talking about drugs. They're talking about sex.
What's going on? They were telling a story. It's kind of painting a picture of what's going on in the streets.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a... I don't know if I would consider it as gangster rap.
But, I mean, gangster rap is more violence, right?
Yeah, gangster rap is more like I'm about to shoot you in your face type rap. They weren't really talking about that in that song. To me, they gave you more of a picture of what was going on in the hood, but they weren't giving it to you from the angle of I'm gonna do it myself. Like I see this type of stuff. I see these drugs going on. I see this. I see that going on, and I will do this. Versus this is what I'm about to do. In gangster rap or whatnot. So I wouldn't consider it a gangster rap song, but I understand where you're coming from.
Okay. I mean, the thing is, with hip hop, you had Public Enemy, you had Dies and Effects, you had
Africa Bambaataa. Don't forget.
Well, you know what African Bambaataa is going through right now.
What's African Bambaataa going through? Some hate?
What?
What's up with that?
Man, you ain't hear about all the stories about him, messing with little boys?
No, I never heard that.
Yeah.
Africa Bambaataa.
Africa Bambaataa.
Oh, my dog watched that. I ain't hear nothing about that. I missed that whole cycle.
Yeah, man. You got people, just go type in Africa Bambaataa and type in, sexual allegations with minors.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And saying how, he was, that's, go out there and do your Googles, folks, because this ain't the topic. I don't want, but even with Africa Bambaataa and KRS-One, and people like that, obviously Big Daddy Kane, Rakim,
Run DMC,
Fat Boys, classic.
Don't forget, man, don't sleep on the
Hey,
Fat
man,
Boys.
they have a song. Matter of fact, I need to get my brother-in-law to send me that song. They is rapping straight gangster rap.
Why don't you just go on Spotify, man?
Man.
Shout out to Spotify for the record. Get Spotify, cuz it's been too long for you not to have Spotify.
You remember how long I didn't have a cell phone?
You right, man, but it's 2018 now, man. Time to make a change, bro. Step into the technology area, man. Step into technology.
Oh, man.
Spotify, man. It's $9 a month, man. You won't miss it, trust me, bro. You won't miss it, man, but you have access to all the music you ever want.
Oh, man. But those guys who just kind of, was the... And it definitely don't want to get up... what's my guys who made the first hip-hop song?
Sugar Hill Gang.
Sugar Hill Gang, yeah. We don't want to forget the... Because it started in the Bronx. And we don't want to get the guys who actually, put their imprint on it. And then they pass it down to a different generation, with the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, people like that they took it and then it was passed down to a different generation like Lil Wayne and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But then when the South kind of took over, Outkast and, Goody Mob and 8 Ball and MJG and you had the whole Suave House clique. Mm-hmm. I mean, that music was... Tila. That music was classic, but now it went to mumble rap. And now these people in China who was probably looking at these, the gold standard of what we could... And once again, I'm not the hip hop is for the youth, but it's one. Sorry about that one, man.
Somebody got a guitar in this bit.
Yeah, but hip hop. One thing about our hip hop culture is that it doesn't cater to the old, and it shouldn't be that way.
No,
but it's a young man's game in the way they design it.
Correct.
To push out the old guys.
Correct, man. A lot of this, but honestly, man, like a lot of fashion, a lot of hip hop and stuff is honestly is generated by younger people. You know what I mean? These 19-year-old, 18-year-olds, early 20-somethings who generate that. They pretty much push that entire culture. So it's part of what you have to deal with when it comes to hip hop. A lot of these Chinese kids just want to dance. Be honest with you, man. Like when you look at hip hop and how it affects, I mean, when you look at a lot of dance groups and stuff that are from China, they just want to dance, man. They like the hip hop music and the way they move. They want to do more dancing and embracing of the culture more than we do here. Like a lot of guys, you don't really. It is dance groups and stuff here. And a lot of people really like into the hip hop culture itself, but most of it's kind of just I'm listening to it because I like the artist. You know what I mean? So over there, I think it's more in depth with the way they consume hip hop. That's probably why the government stepped in and put a ban on it because the kids are more into the actual culture of hip hop, I think, than we are here.
You know what? And that makes a lot of sense because hip hop is more than just the music. You had the break dancers,
Exactly.
you had the graffiti artists.
Exactly.
You had, I mean, it's a way of life. You know, so and that's probably and obviously with them, you know, I mean, them guys with gold teeth in their mouth over there in China.
Yeah.
They got a certain lineage that they want these younger kids to follow.
Exactly.
But you mentioned before, hip hop change is the number one music genre around the world. Now, granted, do you feel like it's been bad for our culture over here?
Hip hop?
Yeah.
To a certain extent. It depends on how you take hip hop. If you take hip hop like me and you consume it, it's like, man, okay, this is good music. I listen to the music. It is what it is. I kind of enjoy it. I kind of, keep it from there. But if you get too into it and you start thinking that you're the artist trying to live that lifestyle, then yes, it can be a very bad thing. I think a lot of kids are under that influence also. They want to be considered a thug or a gangster rapper or whatever it may be. And that causes problems in the community because you're trying to follow these artists who want to go out and shoot people up. And 21 Savage said he don't care who he shoot, cuz 21 Savage said he don't care, bro. He just shooting, he just popping off. He don't care where the bullets go, man. You know what I mean? And some people can look at that like, okay, that may be what 21 Savage did. It may be true, but at the same time, I'm not gonna go out there and emulate that. But a lot of these kids do emulate that, and that's where they get stuck at, and it causes a cycle. Chicago, a lot of these rappers in Chicago rap about that gun life and the gang life and that type of stuff, and it keeps a lot of these kids. If you got 10 kids who say, I can't do it, I like the music, but I'm not about to get into that lifestyle, I got plans for myself in the future. You got 10 more kids who are like, you know what, man, what Chief keeps saying is speaking to me. I really want to go in and be a part of this and be a part of that. So I think it can be bad for the culture depending on how you take it. Gotcha. So overall, to answer your original question, I think it has been bad in some ways for us here. Once again, I don't think banning is the answer, though. I think you guys just let it go, man. People can make their own decisions because you're gonna make it more popular. It's gonna be underground hip hop scenes now. It's gonna be like people smuggling in hip hop albums and certain channels, sneaking on hip hop. It's just gonna make it worse. It's gonna make the thirst for it even more now because of the fact they're trying to ban it.
Exactly. Tell your kid not to touch the stove. What he's gonna do?
Touch the stove.
He ain't gonna touch the stove.
Stove hot.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta expose. When they get a certain age, man, you gotta let them grow. And we was in that hip hop era. I told you one time I thought I wanted to be a gangster. One day I played. I said, heck nah, this junk is trash. You gotta go around wanting to fight people
all the time.
Picking. I said, nah, man, this ain't me, man. This ain't me.
And that's my thing with like me. I never felt that way with music. I had a lot of artists that I were really into, but I never really took on the identity of an artist. I don't think.
Me either, but it was more because of like the neighborhood I grew up in, and you had to be like kind of.
It's part of part of the culture.
Yeah, you had to be kind of tough, and portray that role. Yeah. And I think a lot of things was portrayed through hip hop. That these guys was listening to this music and they tried to be these type of people.
Exactly. Lean alone. I never even heard of lean until they started rapping about it. I didn't even know what that was. Still not quite sure what it is. But these people drinking it because their favorite rappers drinking it.
Cough syrup and Sprite.
That's terrible.
Cough syrup and Sprite.
That is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Even like weed. People been smoking weed forever, of course. I understand that. But
sure.
Hip hop, a lot of these guys talking about smoke. I Got 5 on it. Classic song by the Lunaires. People were like, okay, I'm gonna start smoking this weed. These guys smoking, let me start doing it too. So that stuff also influences kids to go and do drugs and that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
it has its negative consequences. But you got to look at rap for what it is. It's a form of entertainment. It's like a movie. You can't go watch A Nightmare on Elm Street and think you're Freddy. You know what I mean? You just got to enjoy the movie for what it is. Because it's a scary movie, it is what it is. But you're not about to go out there and try to be, you're walking around with needles and you know what I'm saying? Trying to sneak in people's dreams. Like, you can't, so you can't. You got to look at it. You have to be able to separate your entertainment from your real life. That's pretty much what it boils down to. And China said, we're going to do that for you. We're not going to give you an option anymore. We're going to do it for you now. We're going to take it out. So
yeah, that comes. I think China is technically under communist type laws and bylaws.
That might be wrong, but it might be right. But facts don't matter.
Facts definitely don't matter.
Okay.
And those kids are going. And basically, what China created is a bigger problem now, because kids are going to, like you said before, kids are going to want to do this. It's popular culture. Everything that China gets, everything America gets, heck, China's probably doing it before America. Their country is they're super advanced in a lot of things they're doing. Technology-wise, it's probably blowing America out of the water.
Oh, yeah. So,
we're not even trying to debate the two countries and how powerful they are, because technically, U.S. has a debt to China that China can claim at any time. Say, hey, we want our money, cuz.
Hey, ain't nothing.
But they can. All right.
That ain't gonna happen.
But at the same time, hip hop is a product, like you said, that is entertainment that kids are using as entertainment. And once you take that entertainment away, it's some type of area that they're gonna follow or go to. Besides that, now you're gonna have some kids say, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I listen to a different type of music. I don't know what. Once again, I'm not versed in a whole bunch of different music genres besides hip hop, R&B, jazz. Obviously living in America with country.
80s.
Is
that a genre of music? 80s music, is that considered
a genre? It should
be. Okay.
It should be.
I think so too.
80s music is the greatest music genre of all time.
80s is a beautiful decade.
Yeah.
Fashion, music. Oh, God.
See, the 80s. See, one thing about music, it talks to your soul. So music doesn't have a nationality. It doesn't have a race.
Correct.
If you connect with it, you connect with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why a lot of people, even though they might not feel the kid from Chicago or from Baltimore, LA, or even from Tallahassee that has a story to tell about what's going on in their life, they like to listen to it and say, get a different perspective, and it opens up people's minds. That's what hip hop is doing. Yeah. It's bringing in a different audience to see a different side of the world.
You're right.
So, why should we be tripping about that?
Sometimes it just make you want to dance. Sometimes you even got to know what the lyrics are. A lot of these guys listen to these songs. Some don't even understand the lyrics sometimes, but it just make you want to dance.
Yeah.
And that sometimes is all that matters.
Future has a song called Molly Percocets. That song is a club banger.
Yeah.
And it's played on the radio. But he's talking about drug use.
Oh, yeah, that's all Future. Future, oh, my goodness. Future, I don't know if we're taking all these drugs, man, but if we do, he need to slow down.
He definitely do.
Future's everywhere with his drugs.
Yeah, man, he
make good music, though.
He make good. See, that's the thing. It's in a different spectrum type of music that I probably won't. I listen to it. If you're in Atlanta, you have no choice but you riding down the street, you turn on the radio, it's Future.
Oh yeah, the same thing here.
Yeah, same thing.
Come on, cuz.
Yeah,
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana's a classic.
Tony Montana was a banger, but you might not like Future, but you got at least one song you like that he's made, man.
I like the Same Damn Time remix. You can't hate on Diddy part.
Oh, come on, cuz.
Now, was it King Los wrote his lyrics to that song?
Who?
Diddy.
Diddy was.
But that verse King Los wrote, he said, I could be your, how the verse go? I'm on the vibe and the source at the same damn time. Yo, man, go listen to that track. That is classic Diddy shit talking.
The wherever right rhymes, the right checks.
Basically.
But greatest line ever, man.
Yeah. And you start thinking about most of these classic rappers, like, they was the drug dealers. But now, Fabulous wrote a bar in that, I don't know if you listened to that Jada Kiss and Fab album.
Yeah, I listened to like a couple songs from it. It's trash.
Dang.
Yeah.
I like the songs that I listen to. Okay, well.
I like both of the artists, but that
Well, it's Freddie versus Jason, if anybody wants to go and take a listen to that Jada Kiss and Fabulous album.
Don't waste your time.
Dang, man. All right. Well, I mean, that's your opinion.
You're right.
I tell you, I think you should go listen to it. So he tells you not to, I say go listen to it. But Fabulous wrote a verse in there saying that we grew up wanting to be Nino. Now everybody wants to be Pookie, and that's a reference to New Jack City.
No, he said we grew up wanting to be Nino. All these rappers turning Pookie.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. So.
I listen, cuz.
All right.
Don't sleep on me now.
I'm not sleeping.
Listen. It was just trash.
I'm not sleeping on you. I'm just telling you. But that's where the coaches went to. Now we have more of the drug users than the drug sellers. Both of them are horrible.
Either way, yeah.
Either way you finish.
Yeah.
But, that's what the coaches went to. So, yeah. Speaking of hip-hop legends, Suge Knight got a trial coming up. Suge Knight, man.
Suge Knight been on trial since 1996.
Suge Knight was considered to be the boogeyman of hip-hop at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, man, that boogeyman mystique has basically dwindled down. That nobody, they would still respect Suge Knight.
Yeah.
But, he's just the old, when you seen him if you seen his picture in the courtroom, he's just the old man in shackles.
Yeah, man, he stopped dyeing his beard black.
Finally.
Yeah, that's the difference right there. That gray hair start coming in, he start looking old. But some dudes got gray hair you still don't want to mess with. I ain't gonna lie, dog. Oak got that gray hair. I don't want no problems with Oak, bro.
Oak got that.
Oak got the gray hair. But Oak, what, 6? I was talking 6'9", 6'8"?
6'9"?
6'9"? Mm-hmm. So 6'9", probably 2 something. Yeah, man. So yeah. You don't want to get tangled up with Oakley, man. But
I seen Oak one time. He came into Publix years ago.
Come on, man.
Oh man, here we go with this. There's always a hater in the room, man. You think I'm gonna lie about this?
Yeah, bro.
I promise to, cross my heart, hope to die. Charles Oakley came into Publix around 97, 98.
Mm-hmm.
And I bagged his groceries. I don't know what he was doing in Tallahassee. I have no earthly idea what he was doing.
Same thing to him?
Yeah. I just said, what's up, man?
Come on, Cam, bro.
What I was supposed to do, fan out on him?
I know you for about 25-something years, bro. You never told me you met Charles Oakley in Publix, bro. Why the story come out here all of a sudden, man?
I don't know, man.
Come on, Cam, man.
So you calling me a liar?
I'm calling bullshit on this one.
Bruh, first off, why would I troll on a podcast?
That's what you do, bro.
I don't. I'm not pulling nobody. I'm not pulling this troll. I'd seen Charles Oakley in Publix.
So what you said to him?
I told you. I just said, what's up? I just bagged his groceries and gave his groceries. What you gonna say to Charles Oakley?
Like, oh, what's good, man? Get something, bro. Go for the handshake or something.
I'm not going for that handshake. That man might have thought if I was going for a handshake, he said he might have punched me in my jaw.
How big was it?
He was pretty big. He was actually more lean.
Oh, he was still okay. He's still awesome. Yeah, that's why. They probably still close to his NBA days.
I don't have no earthly idea why he was in Tallahassee. Shaq was in Tallahassee. I didn't see Shaq, but I know they say he had a sister that went to fam. Something like a relative. Yeah, he was in Tallahassee one time.
I want to see Shaq in real life, man. They always say he's so much bigger than he look on TV.
He got to be, man. That dude looks bigger. He's one of those people, like you were saying. You said there's a documentary coming out on Andre the Giant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That. Oh my goodness. They were just showing like little clips, man, of his hands, man, and him holding like a soda can and stuff. That guy was huge.
There's nothing you can do if he wants you.
No, I give him no hands.
You gonna get Andre the Giant?
Andre, he can't work out his jaw, Cam. He can be all that big he want to be, bro. You hit that jaw in the right place, he's going down. You better ask Chris Webber about it. He going down, bro. No matter how tall you are, no matter how big you are, you hit that jaw in the right place, he's going down, man.
True indeed.
Yep.
True indeed. Yeah. Oh man. But with Suge, getting back on Suge, Suge might be serving some time for a long time because of, what happened was that this trial is about a murder case and how he's claiming self-defense, but he actually ran over somebody.
Did he back up over the dude again?
Yeah, he backed over that dude, and that was at the shooting of
It was a video of what was it for?
I thought it was for the movie what's the NWA movie.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was for the NWA movie. He came out there, to see, because Suge is one of those dudes who always wants to pop up. I think one time 50 Cent had a story where it was a video shoot, and Suge, they was in L.A. It was G Unit at the time, and 50 was red hot. But they was shooting a video for something. Dr. Dre was out there, and everybody was out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Suge Knight just pull up, and everybody got spooked. He pulled up with a couple of Mexican dudes that 50 said at the time. And 50 and Lloyd Banks and, on Tony Yayo, they was like, man, I mean, we not with this West Coast politics, though. We from New York. Yeah. So we not worried about this dude like this. Because, I mean...
50 the man.
Yeah, so they didn't have... But the dudes who was from the West Coast, like, Suge here. So everybody was getting spooked.
Mm-hmm.
But 50 like, man, what's going on with where y'all?
Cause 50-50, man. I'm not a big 50 Cent fan, but 50 Cent the man, bro. That dude does not care, man. 50 the man.
Shout out to my fellow Cancer. Yeah. Zodiac son. Yeah.
50 the man. I give him that.
Yeah, 50 is the man. 50 is a legend. So, but I don't think Suge gonna beat this one, man.
Yeah, I heard he's in bad health too, man. He eating that prison food, so he been in there for so long, man. It's like he come out, man. What he got left? He probably money all depleted, man. It's just like, what you gonna do now?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody signing death row. You want to get the vanilla ice treatment? Nobody want that. You hung over the edge of the bar. You want none of that stuff, man. So it's like, yeah, what's he gonna fall back on? He still got some masters probably. He probably owns somebody masters, man.
He probably do.
But whatever.
It's bad karma, man, over these years, man. I mean, this man has done a lot of destruction to the industry. A lot of people are looking at his bad karma, for what he's done to people in the past. And, he had that incident, years ago, he was beefing with Snoop Dogg. He was beefing with Dre. Well, he's still technically beefing with Dre to this day.
Dre making money. Dre ain't worried about
Dre.
Suge Knight.
That's the last thing Dr. Dre is worried about.
Snoop making that cash too. Snoop ain't worried about them dudes.
No, but
Snoop playing video games on TV for money now, man. Snoop doing his thing.
Snoop said that him and Suge pieced it up a while ago.
Oh, okay.
So that's, like I said, they don't have any beef with each other, but, Suge still feel a certain way about Dre.
Okay.
I think Snoop Dogg is the most famous rapper of all time.
That's debatable.
I don't know if it's up for debate, man.
He's up there, but that's debatable.
If you say Snoop Dogg around any group of people, they're gonna know who Snoop Dogg is.
Yeah, that's probably right.
If you say Jay-Z, you might have.
It's gonna be a mixed crowd, man. Jay-Z he's still kind of on the ambiguous side outside of our community. I think people know who he is because he's married to Beyonce. If you follow that side of it, but yeah, Snoop may be the most popular.
He's the most popular rapper of all time. He's not the greatest rapper of all time, but he's the most popular rapper of all time.
What about Run DMC?
Most popular rap group, maybe.
Okay, he's talking about the rapper. Singer rapper. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Run DMC they broke records back in the day. I mean, they did that when they did that song "Walk This Way" with Aerosmith. Sheesh, man, those things are ahead of their time, and they basically brought a whole different genre to the rap.
Yeah, Aerosmith actually wrote that song. Man. That's an interesting fact about that song, and they wrote the verses and everything from Run DMC, and Run DMC didn't want to do it because they're from New York. And the exact term they used was hillbilly gibberish. They were like, "What is this hillbilly gibberish we spit in here?" It's like, we're gonna just do this, whatever. If you listen to the lyrics in the song, the way they deliver them, it is you have to listen. You have to really listen, kind of get everything they're saying. But the lyrics, it's good lyrics, man. It's just something you gotta think about. But yeah, they said they didn't want to do it, but it's like, let's go ahead and just do this, see what we gotta do, and it turned out being one of the biggest hits ever.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, the song was wrote by Aerosmith, man. Yeah, and Run. It's like, yeah, man, this is hillbilly gibberish, man. We're not spitting this mess, man. We're from New York, man. Hollis, man. We about to do our thing. But yeah.
New Yorkers always have anything down south is hillbilly.
Hillbilly gibberish. You're right.
Hillbilly gibberish to New Yorkers. New Yorkers always have a different swag and attitude about them, man. So, yeah, that's crazy with those New Yorkers. Man, what you think about, I was watching this, the Breakfast Club interview with this chick named Mara La Negra, and she plays on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Now I'm not a big Love and Hip Hop.
I don't watch any of that stuff yet, but I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, Love and Hip Hop Miami. Trick Daddy's on there. Trina's on there. She's on there.
Who? Trick Daddy and Trina?
Trick Daddy and Trina's on it. Yeah.
How far we falling?
Yeah. Well, it is what it is with Trick Daddy and Trina, but. They're on that show, and she's on that show, and she is Afro-Latina. She considered herself Afro-Latina.
Mm-hmm.
And on this show, basically what she was, explaining to the Breakfast Club is that she has this guy, her manager, some guy by the name of Young Hollywood or something like that, and how he was.
Young Hollywood. Ain't that nigga like a professional dunker or something? Young
I
Hollywood.
don't know. His name's something. Mr. Hollywood. I don't know what it is.
Something
man.
terrible. Okay. God, dog. I'm so far removed from like this. Oh man, continue. My bad. Go ahead. I'm just.
But either way, she has an afro. Now she has extensions in her afro, but she has an afro. Now her skin. If you looked at her, you thought she was playing blackface, because she actually takes melanin shots. I didn't know if this was possible.
Okay, man.
All right.
Go ahead, dog.
All right. but she's a Dominican Afro-Latina.
Oh my God, dog. This sounds so terrible. Go ahead, man.
But to make the point, she is being, what she was explaining on the Breakfast Club is her struggle as an Afro-Latina woman in the Latin market. Not the American market, but the Latin market. Because what she's saying is that Latin America still has issues with colorism. Now, America has their, their rich history in what happened with Jim Crow and slavery and all types of things in this society that we're still working on to fix. And we still got a long way to go. And to be honest with you, and this is just my honest opinion, you're going to have people on both sides of the fence always. So you're going to have some good people, you're going to have some bad people. It's just going to be the way it is. The way the world is socially constructed right now, until huge giant ants jump down here, or giant spiders, and we realize that we got to fight these giant spiders together. So
we'll still be two sides.
It might still be two sides.
Some people want to join the spiders, bro.
Yeah, but you're gonna always have two sides of this. That's just the way that's just the way I see it, man. I mean, it's just the way it is to me. But regardless, she's saying she's fighting a uphill battle in the Latin market. And it was explained. Well, said, well, if you pop in America, you basically pop everywhere. But what she really wants to do is have that Latin base, which she does, but doesn't have it like she has it in America.
Man, she put extensions in her afro. Ain't nobody respect that, man. Continue, man. I'm just, I'm not feeling this right now, man. Because what?
The thing is, like I say, she's trying to bring.
Go ahead. I'm with you. I'm looking at this interview. Go ahead. Amarla Negra, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead.
And she's basically saying that colorism is keeping a lot of people of her complexion down in Latin America. She was saying that, in America we had, Martin Luther King, we had Malcolm X, we had all these, warriors who was fighting these battles for us to get, certain rights and civil liberties in America, but they really never had those folks in Latin America. Now, granted, Latin America never had those atrocities, or, well, let me take that back, didn't have probably the level of atrocities that happened in America compared to Latin America. But she said it's still a big, huge thing. Most people who of dark skin complexion are the house workers in Latin America. They're not the politicians. They're not the presidents. They're not, the people on TV. If you look at Telemundo, they're going to have more of the J-Lo type on there compared to her type. And she's saying that is the everyday struggle she goes into. And a lot of people in the Dominican Republic, she said, don't want to claim their African ancestry in the Dominican Republic. And what she wants to do is bring awareness to this. Not to the fact that she's trying to break it in America, but in the fact in Latin America, she's trying to break down those barriers and those walls to have that, the Afro-Latina pop in there. You got to have a lot of people who obviously identify with their their African history. I mean, their African descent. Mm-hmm. But you got a lot of people who fight from that. But once again, Dominicans. But she's saying the whole Latino. She's not saying Dominicans. She's not saying Puerto Ricans. But you got a whole bunch of Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Hondurans, Ecuadorians, Mexicans of all African Latina descent that get looked upon in a negative way, and she's trying to bring a light to that.
I can understand the plight she's going through with the colorism thing. That's totally understandable. Why she getting melanin shots? Did she explain that?
She never explained that.
So is she like a naturally, what is it? She naturally dark skinned?
She's naturally dark skinned.
So what's
I seen a picture of her when she was a kid. I mean, she's about dark as you or me. I don't know what the explanation for melanin shots are. I didn't know. Obviously, I didn't know that was possible.
I don't think that's possible. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what her angle like. Is she? I mean, if she's a dark skinned woman and she's trying to explain her colorism, like why are you getting
that might be some hypocrisy in her part. I don't know, but you know, she was just trying to explain the plight of more Afro-Latina people in the South American market and in the Dominican market that that they just don't agree with having a dark-skinned person being the face of their society in Latin America.
Okay.
And she said it has a lot to do with a lot of things with colonialism. You know, if you know the history of colonialism with Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Haiti was conquered by the French, and the Dominican Republic was conquered by the Spaniards. Haiti actually defeated the French, and that was the only slave to master defeat in any revolution to date. And they defeated the French, but the Spaniards still conquered the Dominican Republic, and a lot of those people, you know, obviously was, mixed, what they would consider mixed breeding at the time, which is, a negative connotation in itself. But it was a lot of people who was Spaniards was, getting with Dominican women, and Dominican men was getting with Spaniard women. It was creating these people, and what it did was it had these people in that region catered to being more Spanish and Spanish is a language, by the way. I'm guilty of this when I call somebody Spanish, but it's a language. It's Spaniards who was actually from Spain, and then you got people who speak Spanish. So, and you have a lot of people in the Dominican Republic, she was saying, that don't want to identify with that side. But you got a lot of people in America who doesn't understand their plight. But you should. Think about it. You speak English.
Correct.
Are you English?
No.
Are the Dominicans Spanish? Because they speak Spanish?
No.
See, so...
But no. I mean, you wouldn't consider a Dominican person Spanish, but I guess when people use the term Spanish, they're referring to a person of
Spanish speaking,
Spanish descent.
So, granted,
like we're considered African Americans, but we don't speak African.
Well, you got a lot of people who have English American too, who black, who've been they got white, they got English in them. Would you consider them English American?
An English American person?
Yeah. If they're black,
yeah.
If they consider, if that's I think it goes back to their nationality, what you identify as.
Correct.
So
right.
I mean, I debunked that African American stuff because I told you it was people in this country before. They told you this. They told you this in the textbooks. They told you it was people who, it was, as they consider Native Americans or Aborigines here in America before somebody came over here. Correct. So not everybody's from Africa. Let's put it like that. Not every single black person in America is from Africa. They put a label on you to, put you in a category. Same thing with every person who's Caucasian. They're not from Europe. They could be from a different part of the world. It's about your nationality and what you identify as.
Correct.
But she's trying to basically talk about this and bring light to it. Do you think have you ever met a Spanish-speaking person of darker skin color who identify with themselves as maybe Spanish or maybe their nationality and didn't probably want to identify as with their African descent or, black?
No. Okay. No. But then again, I haven't met, most people I know are here in the U.S. I don't do a lot of outside traveling. And then again, I don't really communicate with a lot of people who are, just because of we live in Tallahassee, man. It's the best way to describe. We don't really live in one of those areas, man. We about to get although we have a lot of students and stuff coming in, it's not a lot of places to see those kinds of people.
Yeah, but you went to Orlando.
Yeah.
Orlando has a lot of Puerto Ricans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you went to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I've been to Puerto Rico.
What you felt like? You felt you think if you seen the spectrum of colors in Puerto Rico, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
None of us asked them, do you identify with, because that's a nationality. Puerto Rican is just a nationality.
Yeah.
So when you got to go a little bit deeper, because they would talk about the Taino, Taino Indians as their Aborigines in Puerto Rico, right? So they're talking about those folks as their ancestors. So when you say, are you of African descent, they will tell you no, because we deal with the Taino Indians. But going back in the history books, those people look like you. Which is, but I can see you not enamored with this colorism thing, because you probably stuck on the fact that she got extensions and melanin shots. So
go ahead and read the room, bro, because you got me. When you told me that from the jump, I said nothing she had to say has any interest in me, man, because of the fact that she's. Why are you getting melanin shots, man? What's going on there?
Man,
you gotta explain that to me, man. Or you probably don't know, but like to me, that's you get what I'm saying. Like to me, that kind of puts me in the mind of like, I couldn't even tell you, man. I don't know, man. That's I have to do more research on that one, man. We have to bring that back up on a separate podcast. I can get some more information, man. But her and these melanin shots, man, and all that type of stuff don't really get me where I need to be at right now with that, man.
Yeah, well, as we say, racism is a disease that's around the world that should be eradicated.
Correct.
And and that disease, most people feel, if they being honest with themselves, probably won't ever go away, because certain people profit off of that.
Exactly. Like I told you, man, people don't want it to change, because if something benefits you, you don't want it to change. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what it boils down to.
Right. And you have good people within these these races that want these things to change, but sometimes they don't even know they're actually performing an act of racism probably to somebody, because certain ways and certain you might be thinking you might be doing good for a certain race, but you got to understand what their plight is to understand where they're coming from, so you can say, well, I didn't know that. But you got some people who just don't give a damn, and that's fine.
You're right. A lot of them don't. You're 100% right about that, man.
So I mean that. Like I said, you got good people around the world, but you're gonna always have that embedded. That's something that whoever constructed that, and most people say back in the day that the Romans constructed that, based off on the history books, that they constructed this race thing. It was more about nationalities compared to race. It was where you was from than what your skin color was. Because skin color, technically, the world is in technicolor. So you got the people say it's the human umbrella, which is the human race, and then you have all these factions under the human umbrella. Most people would tell you that the black man was the first, or the black woman was the first human being on Earth, because of the fact that everything derives from black has what we say an absence of no color, and these are scientists and all kinds of professionals who study this would tell you that the history or the origin of the world came from black folks, because of the fact that the melanin in us starts with because black people are the only if you define a race, black people are the only people who technically create white babies, and we consider them what?
Oh, what?
White babies.
Whoa, what the hell? Bro, you just lost me on that one, huh?
You not listening.
I am listening. You said black people can only create white babies.
Well, they say technically black people can create white babies, and they name them as what? Albinos.
Albino, yeah.
Yeah. So, they said that albinoism started the white race. If you want to believe that.
Okay.
That's.
No. Trust me, I'm listening, bro. That just threw me off guard the way you. I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
We're gonna get somebody in here who could speak about this. In general, we could talk about this, because it's a lot of history that's being thrown and a lot of theories that's been thrown out in the world. People consider, maybe this type of race was the first race, or this is the first religion, or this is the first God, and all these things. All these things are the evolution of theory. And what you believe in and what you study can influence on how you think and how you move.
Correct. You're 100% right about that, man. It's like statistics, facts, anything can be skewed to make it believe or think whatever you want them to.
Yeah.
Statistics. This is the, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you believe is whatever you believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people might find more comfort in believing a certain way because it makes them feel a certain.
We all do.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, we all do.
If you ask most black people, if I ask you a question, if you believe this, who you think was the first person? Who you think is the original man in this world?
Adam.
What was Adam? I guess what skin color was he?
He was dark. Put it that way.
He was dark. Okay.
Yeah, put it that way. He was dark. I don't know what his nationality was, but I'm gonna say he was dark. Yes.
Okay. So
from the way he was described.
Okay. So some people have those. That's what makes them feel good. And that's what colorism is to some people. People want to see a certain picture in their face to make them feel good about themselves. When it should be not. That shouldn't even be the case. If the human race is the ultimate race, then why is the fact that we stuck on this one thing between light and dark? And where did that come from? And who decided to make that part of the world spectrum? So, yeah. But that like I say, racism needs to be eradicated and destroyed. But that's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to take some time, man. It's going to take some time. Although it is, I do think we have made progress. It's not as I don't think it's as bad as it used to be because it's really a matter of previous generations teaching that to current generations. A lot of that previous generation those guys are starting to die off. Mm-hmm. So it still exists. I'm not going to sit up and say it doesn't exist, but it's starting to fade out because the more modern person is starting to think differently.
It should.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you deal with your energy, like I say, I deal with energy. And to a certain extent, just because they're your skin folk, don't mean that they're your kin folk.
Correct.
Not everybody who's black, I'm gonna get along with.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not the way of the world. That's just not how it works. You're gonna have people you're gonna have disagreements with. I mean, most crimes happen in any race is because it's gonna be black on black or white on white or Asian on Asian or Latino on Latino because you deal with that demographic more than any other demographic.
Correct. That makes sense. Once again, statistics.
Yeah.
You can make those facts look any way you want them to look, man, depending on how you set the statistics up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's all good people.
Basketball, man.
Yeah.
That's why I love basketball. I don't care what color you are, bro. If you can score buckets, you my teammate. You my man for that minute, man. That's all that matters, man.
I agree. If you can score buckets, you my man. But regardless, I done had people do things for me from all different races.
Of course.
I can't put one bad apple and make them the whole. I can't do it. But at the same time, I tell people this. You got to be in touch with your culture and have a firm standing on that to be grounded in where you believe certain things in your culture make you the person that you are. You can't learn different things from different people and different cultures, in my opinion. And this is and it might sound controversial, but at the same time, you can't learn different things like that and expect to bring those things into your culture and try to integrate with that. You got to learn things from your culture and be grounded. That's why you start from within. You start in the house. You learn everything about your ancestors. You learn everything about the places they come from, if you can find it. You learn all those things. And that's why you explain things to different cultures, because they can get a different understanding from you, from food to language to how you interact with your kids. This is a part of the world. Like I say, the world is a Rubik's Cube. Once you start twisting it up and you finally get it connected, then it can make sense. But it's a whole bunch of information out there that you got to pull from to understand people's cultures. So, yeah, gotta learn. You gotta learn yourself before you go learn anybody. And I said this in the last podcast. I'm sorry, we won't have it in the future. I'm gonna give it about 3 episodes. We won't talk about race. I'm gonna make that clear. Unless we're talking about a white dude dunking on a black dude, we're gonna have to reference the movie White Man Can't Jump.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What time we looking at, man?
Man, we've been on here for almost 2 hours, man. It's an hour and 48 minutes, bro. We went extra long today.
Oh, man. Well,
no homo.
Man. we're doing it like drink champs.
Yeah, I know, man. We're just on here, man. Sometimes when the content good, just keep flowing, man.
Yeah, that's
true. But you know we got to get into it, man. We waited too long to get into it. I'm pretty sure the street's waiting for us. You know what we got to get into, man.
What's that?
Come on, man. what we got to get into, because we get into this every week, man. This is week 2 now for us.
Oh, summer jam screen?
Not the summer jam screen, man. Not the summer jam screen, cuz.
Summer jam screen coming next week, by the way.
The Kings update, man.
Oh, yeah,
Come
LeBron.
on, man. People want to know about the Kings update, bruh.
Oh, LeBron.
No, not even that LeBron. The Kings, our basketball team, man.
Oh, you talking about the Kings?
Come on. What you got in that cup, bro? Yeah, man. So we are currently 1-3. Oh, man. So terrible this season. So terrible. We lost by 1 point. The first game was at 1 point. That was when we got the foul at the end. That was 1 point. And then the game we just played, we lost by, 2 points?
Something like that.
2 or 3 points? It ain't looking good, man.
We're 1-3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You played a good game. By the way.
17. I scored 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wasn't enough.
Led the team to score.
Leading the team in scoring and winning the game, which one is more important?
Leading the team in scoring?
Yeah, we need to get you off the team. That's not a good look, man.
Hey, Leon can't do everything, baby. Leon can't do everything, man. Leon can't do everything, man.
Oh man, here we go.
But seriously though, we gotta get some wins here, man. We only got 12 games this season. They shortened the season this year from 16 to 12. So at best, we're looking at a 9-3 season, which isn't bad, but we gotta really start playing some serious basketball. We gotta go undefeated for the rest of the season to make it serviceable. 8-4 is trash. 9-3, still trash, but not as trash.
Yeah, we had high expectations. But what we gonna win at the end of the year anyway? What we playing for? Pride?
Pride, man. Pride. If you ain't playing for pride, man, then what you out there for?
Oh, man.
You gotta play for pride, man. You gotta play for pride. Oh, man. I'd rather have a pride than a plastic trophy any day.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, man. I mean, the trophy is nice and all, man, but the pride, to know. Now, I agree with you now.
Who remembers pride?
You can give me I do.
I don't remember pride.
How we gonna share that trophy? Who house we gonna put it in?
I need some statues.
Who house we gonna put that trophy in?
Mine's. That's where it should be kept. Cause I can frame it. I got a lovely place in my man cave that I can frame that trophy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Pride only get you fries. Pride get you fries. I need something tangible, man.
Okay. I'm out that pride, man. Give me that pride.
I ain't, cause I forget it. What season? I mean, y'all had undefeated seasons. Y'all had 1-loss season, 2-loss seasons, things like that. But nobody remembers that. Y'all checking where y'all stats at?
Yeah, that's true, man.
Yeah.
City Tallahassee needs to step the game up.
Yeah, we need a trophy, man. We need somebody. We need to have that pride on the wall that says that the Kings won the championship that year.
You know what we need to do, man?
What's that?
A good episode for a good idea for one of our episodes. Let's get a City Tallahassee representative on here and have him talk about why City League is so trash.
Done.
That's actually, not only is it a feasible idea, it's also a great idea.
Done.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's see. You know what, man? Let's discuss things we can do to make this better and why it's so trash.
Done. We can do that. I got a perfect person in mind.
Okay.
Good. Perfect person in mind.
Good. That's something we got to do, man. We need to talk about it because it's constantly getting worse.
Yeah. It's definitely. Oh man, City of Tallahassee they've been dropping the ball on that for a long time. Yeah.
My playing day is coming to an end. We all know that. I mean, we can't play basketball forever, but I would love to be part of the creative behind that. You know, what they do for the seasons and all type of stuff. They can make it a lot better.
Yeah,
they can make it more lucrative.
Yeah, they can make it a lot. A lot of people like to play sports. Sports keeps people out of trouble. You know, it's one of the things that a lot of people go to free their mind from the everyday world and everyday struggle of dealing with work and dealing with home issues and dealing with all kinds of issues. Sports is a getaway.
Correct, man. You're 100% right about that. And a lot of us still living our hoop dreams, man. So a lot of us didn't even have the opportunity to play a real game with referees and have people watching. So if we can make that better for people, yeah, I think that'd be a good thing for the city of Tallahassee.
Would you rather be a street legend or NBA legend?
Street legend.
Streets are always watching, right?
Pee Wee Kirkland, bro.
You know what? Pee Wee Kirkland get a lot of miles, man.
Pee Wee Kirkland.
But Pee Wee Kirkland also sold dope.
I know he did.
He was the man in selling dope. He actually was drafted first or second.
Yeah, you just asked me whether to be a street legend or NBA legend. That's Pee Wee Kirkland. I'd rather be a street legend, bro.
You be Pee Wee Kirkland over Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Pee Wee Kirkland.
Pee Wee Kirkland ain't got no Nike bunny.
Legend in 2 games like them Pee Wee Kirkland.
Pee Wee Kirkland living in a bodega in the Bronx. Get out of here, man.
I would never want to be Michael Jordan.
FYI?
If you said like Pee Wee Kirkland or LeBron, then I go with LeBron. But yeah.
Oh, okay.
Never Michael Jordan.
Because of those dad jeans?
No, yeah, man. Because Michael Jordan is a coon.
Oh, man. Yeah. You got any final things we want to talk about, man, before we leave?
Nah, man. We went 1 hour and 54 minutes today, man. That's good content. That's 2 podcasts worth.
Yeah.
Start charging for this stuff.
Yeah, I think what happens is when I go on my rant about race and stuff like that and how certain things plays a part in race, that takes it like an extra 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, you got some Levitard in you, man.
Yeah, I do. Levitard talks about race a lot.
You love it, man. You got a little bit of Levitard in you, man.
Listen, man, it's a part of the world. It's the thing. Like I say, I tell people before. Oh, man, you gotta watch them headphones, man.
Yeah, streets watching, bro.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, hate is not a part of my inner core.
Mm-hmm.
But understanding is, and I want to understand my culture. It's not about race, because race is a social construct.
Mm-hmm.
It's made up. It's human made up.
Mm-hmm.
But where your nationality and where you connect with within your culture is more popular than your race. There's nothing wrong with people identifying with their culture. That's what makes the world go around. It makes it peaceful. Once you have an identity of who you are and what you are and why you here, it makes your presence and your goals in life a little bit more easy to attain. So that's a big thing to me. No hate against nobody. We preach that. Why would we hate against another person because of their nationality or their skin? You know, that's, once again, that is whack and out of bounds. But you can't hate on me either. Cause hey, I don't believe in you go low, I go high. You go low, I'm going low with you. So once again, disrespect won't be tolerated because I'm going to go low with you.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to give you your respect. And I love to talk to different people from different cultures and different ethnicities and different nationalities that makes me understand different things. I might not agree with their perspective and they might not agree with mine. But at the end of the day, it's your perspective catered to my perspective. And I don't know what's the truth because when I die, nobody's throwing a black flag in there with me. Nobody's telling me, no, I'm going someplace I don't know. I'm on a roller coaster ride. Mm-hmm. Nobody from the dead has came back and told me this is what's going to happen.
Exactly.
So, so still is that. But I'm going to leave these people with some kind words, man, before we leave here. So, like I said.
Before you get the kind words out, man, don't forget, man. Yeah,
we got to tell people, once again, you want to go ahead? Yeah, go ahead, man.
February, we're going to start our lunch break series. It's going to be 30 minutes on Wednesdays. Probably the second week in February we'll start it out. We're doing 30 minutes. We still need more topics. One topic, 30 minutes. Going to get our opinions on whatever topic it is. We also have our Gmail, nothingabovethemoon60 at gmail.com. Send us emails. You got comments, suggestions, criticism, topics for our Wednesday lunch break. Anything, we'll read it, respond if we can or whatnot. We're also going to get our Facebook page up, Instagram, a couple different iTunes, a couple different avenues you guys can reach us at. And please subscribe to SoundCloud. If you don't want to subscribe to SoundCloud, that's fine, but just, look out for your boys. We can't be sending links to everybody, man. It's not going to get us where we need to be at. So we need you guys to subscribe to our SoundCloud page and support the show.
Man, please support the show and stop. Subscribe to the SoundCloud page so your boys can get these viewerships up so we can do different things. We got a backpack drive that we want to do when the new school year kicks in. We want to, start, going around communities and donating clothes and shoes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We might have in the future, we might want to create, our own basketball league or our own, football league to have these kids do something positive And also, we might have certain studies that I would probably want to do with the kids and teach them a lot of things culturally that they should learn about. And I don't feel like, some of these schools are teaching things that is a part of, black.
Before you get in there, man.
I'm not.
Before you get in there.
Go ahead.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Just want to give them a different perspective on black culture and black history as it deals with the Americas and, the greater continents of Africa, Europe, Asia, and stuff like that. You got to have an understanding of, like I said, where you come from and where you're going. And these things I feel like are invaluable to our community to give them a self-worth on doing what they need to do. This is a PSA on everybody. And I want to teach everybody. But I want to start with our community. Because once again, you got to get these kids to understand where they're coming from. I talk to anybody, Asian, white. You could come to my house. I don't eat certain foods, but I try your food just because.
You eat Asian food?
I say I don't eat certain foods.
Like Asian food?
Do I like Asian food?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that stuff be banging.
Okay, yes sir.
Yeah, man, that's part of culture. You got European foods that certain people eat. You like. Mm-hmm. It's part of culture. It's part of life, man. That's the best thing about life is learning about different cultures. Mm-hmm. The worst part about life is having one culture think they're more superior than the other culture. That's the worst thing.
I concur.
So, yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna leave you with these kind words, and make sure, like I said, y'all subscribe to that SoundCloud page. Once again, water is wet, the sky is blue. Remember, I'm always gonna be true. See, these are words that people need to understand. No matter what, man.
All right.
And make sure, and matter of fact, make sure, if somebody wants to come and watch us play our games are at Walker Ford. I don't know, from 7 to 9. If you want to come out there and check out our time slots for those games, come out there and check us out. Because we need some motivation out there. We need some help. Mm-hmm. We need our own crowd, man. We need the nothing above the moon fans to come out there and check you guys out and have up posters and stuff like that to cheer us on so we can win some basketball games.
Yeah, it's 1 and 3. It's real sus, man. Especially for the amount of trash we talked about before we started playing basketball this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, man. So we'll see y'all next week. Make sure y'all stay tuned for these upcoming interviews as well. And I think that's it, man.
That's it, bro. We out of here.
Retro 3's coming out February 17th. Shout out to Michael Jordan, a.k.a. Coon King.